Boom! What's up, everybody? Welcome back, man. It's your boy D. Friend.
Boy D. Nearly
Back in the building for another episode of Absent Your Podcast. Gonna have a great night tonight. Got a lot of shit to talk about. A lot of shit, I don't maybe I was texting Bryce about a lot of shit. Maybe I'm a little passionate about just seeing the shit going on in the world. So
she got me passionate. I ain't gonna lie. So she got me passionate.
It's gonna be a fun night, especially if you actually paying attention to what's going on in the world today. It should be a fun night for you as well. So make sure you're not subscribed already. I'm be better about my shit. I'm gonna post this on the audio versions only. So SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, all the good shit like that. Just search up Absolute Sure Podcast. You'll find it all over there. If you're in the chat and you can comment, salute to you. Make sure you comment, let us know you're in the fucking chat. Salute to you. You want to get started? Yeah, I know last week you didn't have shit. I don't know if you want to get started with any good things. Let me know what you thinking while I listen to this audio real quick.
Oh man, life is moving. New ideas is flowing. But now I just getting into more stuff as far as like these books that I've been seeing that you can resell. So I'm moving with that as far as another thing that should be just coming in on the side, because it's pretty much like you just send the shit to Amazon and they sell it for you.
Yeah, it's a couple years ago.
You don't really gotta be invested in. And like I ended up getting these books a long time ago, but I had to get a new ID and shit to sign up for Amazon FBA. Finally did all that shit, and I ended up getting like these books when I went to like you can buy electronics for like $8 a day, like $8 an item or something like that. And I ended up going like on $1 day, and I ended up seeing look, I got the books on my desk right here. I ended up finding books and shit like this. A lot of textbook stuff, like this shit was still in the bag. I didn't put this in the bag and stuff like that. So I'm finally.
You over something a little bit?
Oh my bad.
No, you good.
I'm finally excited to get that going for sure.
All right, sound like a plan. So for me, I don't know, just got back from the trip. Life going good, life going great. I was entertained yesterday about everything going on with the elections and all that type of shit. So I don't know what you want to get into first. We got a couple things that we got slated down. We got the election shit. We got Kyrie again, and some other things like that. So I don't know what you want to really dive into head first.
Honestly, there's nothing that I'm like just to a point where like I gotta make sure we talk about it or I'm super passionate about. So honestly, it's up to you.
Okay, so let's just go with the Kyrie shit first. We get to the politics. So, I think after we ended our show last week, these new lists of demands for Kyrie Irving made its way to the internet. I don't know who enlisted these demands to him. I don't know if it's the Nets.
I think it was the Nets, if I'm not mistaken.
If it's the Nets or if it's the ADL or the Nets and the ADL in combination. Like I said, we don't know what the ADL is. Anti-Defamation League, pretty much like the Jewish people's NAACP. Essentially, that's what it is. So I got him up here. So these are 6 things he must do, I guess, in order to play again. He must apologize and condemn the movie. He must donate $500,000 to anti-hate causes, which I thought he already donated. Like, who comes with these numbers? Why 500,000? That's a lot. Like, I know he's rich, but like, that's an expensive apology.
Just for what he did.
Yeah. Then he has to go through sensitivity training. Then he has to go to anti-Semitic training. Then he has to meet with the ADL and Jewish leaders. And then he has to meet with the owner of the Nets to demonstrate his understanding. Now I got to go. Now the last thing I got to go to make sure you make sure you, Joe Tsai, whatever, know that I understand what I did wrong.
Because you're
the greatest person. I already fucking did my research on Joe Tsai.
You're so morally correct.
He's a motherfucking he owns some shit in China. I don't think it's the TikTok shit, but he cool with the Uyghur shit. So like he's the fucking moral. Like I just say, all these people, these fake fucking morals. You're not no good. You kowtow to China. When Daryl Morey said the shit about Hong Kong, you are obviously, I don't know if he's a Chinese citizen, but he's obviously an Asian guy. You wanted Daryl Morey fired from the Rockets because of that. Because your loyalty his loyalty ain't here.
So this is a sidebar. With that stuff, that's what they were speaking on, because I never really got invested with
what you mean? With Daryl Morey?
He had spoke out and got in trouble.
So Hong Kong was, I believe it was a British province, right? Like Britain had control of Hong Kong. And then then they like, I guess, I don't know if the time ran out or whatever, so they no longer had control of Hong Kong. So China was like, y'all are in China, so that's our shit. Y'all are in a free society, like that's our shit. And when people were saying free Hong Kong, there's a lot of protests going on. China was mad about it. It's kind of like saying like Taiwan isn't a part of China. They get mad about
that. So that had nothing to do with the Uyghurs at all.
No, it had nothing to do with the Uyghurs. No.
Okay.
They don't talk about that. They don't even bring that up. They don't talk about
Okay.
that.
Okay.
They don't talk about that. But yeah, it's like I gotta go to fucking Joe Tassi. The fucking let's see if he let's get him some Islamophobic training. Let's get him some. It's like he cool with that shit. That's that shit I hate. Now I really wish reporters would ask people shit like that. And I know they can't probably because if they do ask Joe Tassi, like, hey, how do you feel about the Uyghurs and da da da? They got to deal with China. They got this. They got that. The NBA might, ask their press credentials. But it's like, if you're a journalist, you're a journalist. That's something that people need to know.
They're not journalists.
Joe Tassi still on this moral high ground telling Kyrie about the anti-Semitic shit. Why, you know what I'm saying? He would. Let me see if I can find this shit.
They're definitely not journalists, though.
But
yeah. I was just gonna say they're not journalists. They definitely follow a guideline and code. They're in like this little boys club of really the mainstream. They're like, I want to be able to be one of those people that could be on their own talk shows or the main host of a show one day, or maybe like the press secretary, something like that. They all have these big goals of making it. So when it comes to offending anybody that's in the higher ups, bro, they stay far away from it. So questions like that, they ain't fucking with, man.
So just so I just want to give everybody information about, because like I said, the last day on Kyrie's thing is meet with Joe Tsai to demonstrate he understands anti-Semitic training and sensitivity training. He is the co-founder of Alibaba, which is like where you can get all that cheap shit that you could wholesale and do all that, right? So from the Daily News, this is in 2022, April 14th. Joe Tsai's Alibaba financially supported China's cultural genocide of Uyghur Muslims. Alibaba, a company co-founded by Joe Tsai, an adamant advocate of China's communist regime and the owner of the net and liberty, financially supported the Chinese government's human rights violations and cultural genocide of its Muslim population, according to a report from ESPN. So it's like, who the fuck are you to have to come and give understanding to? But you know what it is? It's because, and I ain't trying to really bring race into it, Joe Tsai thinks he's better than Kyrie Irving. He thinks he's like, I can do whatever the fuck I want to do. I can literally, like Kyrie tweeted out a movie, right? And we can get to the anti-Semitism shit because I like read some book about it, and I get what people are saying. But
you read a book about it?
Yeah, well, I'm reading a book about it.
Okay.
But you're literally supporting genocide. Literally. And you think you have you're like in quicksand, motherfucker. You have nothing to stand on.
It's crazy because it's to be the same thing what happened to the Jews. That you let happen.
But you let it happen because it was Muslims. Oh, whatever. It's Chinese Muslims. Don't give a fuck. They're not, I don't even know what Chinese like main religion is.
That's what's crazy.
It's Christianity, or I don't know what their main religion is.
It's not that I'm upset about people being sensitive about the times when that happened, because in the past, but we literally see that happening in right now. Like history has repeated itself, right? And we don't have this uproar, but for some reason we can get mad at words when there's clear actions, and this happening to a group of people right now, live in the flesh. So yeah, it just the hypocrisy in the media, like you said, they won't address that though, but they don't mind addressing Kyrie's statements that we really know ain't that dangerous compared to there's a whole fucking regime doing exactly what happened to those people. Like, it's just funny, man. It's funny, man.
I'm just reading like.
To speak on what you said, like the requirements and stuff like that, it does feel like that in general, the overall theme is like, we're better than you, or we're your superior, so you have to answer to us. You're not your own individual man. We don't respect your opinion. You need to basically show a certain level of reform to even be a part of what we feel like going in the future or whatever. So it comes off a certain way, like the whole criticism over him in general, because I don't feel like it was ever done in a productive conversation. It was just like a bunch of condemning, shitting on him, and acting like he never was trying to.
What do you think about? What do you think about? Have you seen that Nick Cannon clip of him sitting down with the ADL CEO?
With Nick Cannon, when he was sitting down with him,
he's sitting down right. Like it's not. It hasn't come out yet, but it's like a highlight to what's to come. Have you seen that?
I might have seen it. I'm not. You have to remind
I'll play. So like I said, just to give everybody context, ADL is essentially the Jewish NAACP.
Around the corner.
So in that same statement
hold on, we'll go from the beginning. Here we go.
Heartedly say, I know Kyrie Irving is not anti-Semitic.
When given the chance to say, are you anti-Semitic or not, he didn't say, no, I'm not anti-Semitic. At the press conference, tell us about that movie, why he did. He said, stop dehumanizing me. And the movie is saying white Jews invented the Holocaust. and 6 million Jews didn't get killed. Okay, I know that isn't right.
Right.
There's a gigantic historical record. Jewish people know when you dehumanize us this way, we know what's around the corner.
So in that same statement as those are the tropes that dehumanize Jewish people, the same buck breaking.
What's that? I don't really know what that means, to be perfectly honest.
How you? I thought you would know. You know what buck breaking is? You're like Mr. Fucking. You know, we're finding extremism. We're finding hate. I know you're like more to the Jewish side. You're not like, but you would think that like you would know what buck breaking is, like at least because you're into this whole like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but anyways, but it just goes to show like they really don't. He really doesn't know what goes on with this guy, the ADL guy. To me, I feel like you really don't know like the terms that's going on to black people in slavery. It's kind of like your thing and like, you know, y'all's thing happened. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he's not discounting slavery because the book I'm reading is actually his book. He's the ADL guy. I'm reading his book. So like he brings up like, you know, Tulsa Massacre, this and that. But it's like, I don't know what buck breaking. Like, bro, you should know what the fuck buck breaking is. But,
okay, so you know that he does his research and stuff like that.
Yeah, because he brings up events and that.
You're talking
like,
about Tulsa.
You would think
like
you know
that.
what buck breaking is, but let me let him.
Got you.
Let Nick Cannon get his shit off what he's comparing buck breaking to.
What's that? I don't really know what that means, to be perfectly honest.
The slave masters would bring the buck, the one that gets out of line. So all the other slaves would see lash after lash, show them the power to set an example. This is what you must do to fall in line. So when we see the 6 things that Kyrie must do to get his job back,
right?
That's dehumanizing.
Okay. So I think even a lot of people came out, even like Shannon Sharp was kind of going hard on Kyrie. He even came out like, all right, like, we can say something about the film. We can kind of like, you know, maybe should apologize immediately, but like there's 6 steps you got to do. It's like, all right, now y'all doing too much. I think that's where they fail a lot. Like it'll be like, okay, well, I get it. Somebody did X, Y, Z, whatever. But then they start doing too much. They start trying to exert too much authority over people. And that's when people start to be like, all right, it was kind of like, hey, he was tripping in the beginning, not really condemning Kyrie, but like, all right, maybe you shouldn't have posted the video. And then now y'all doing too much. And now it's like people going to defend Kyrie. Because like now we're seeing you're doing too fucking much. Yeah. That's essentially how I look at it.
Hardly say I know
that situation. And even like when I was reading this guy's book, I marked down like some things. Because this thing is most like Jewish. Like anybody kind of say anything about Jewish, say anything about Israel, things about that nature. Like it's all kind of like, it all leads to just anti-Semitic hate and things of that nature. Let me see if I got it. If I can mark down. So this was interesting to me. So he said, so he started off the thing talking about how he's seen everything going on in the world, right? There was Jewish people getting killed in Germany, not even like Germany Nazi shit, but just like recently with synagogues and mosques. Happened a bunch of places in Europe, Jewish people's getting killed, right?
Okay.
And then it happened here at the Tree of Life synagogue where a white supremacist who's been saying like, hey, he went in there and said, I'm gonna kill all the Jews because Jews are trying to replace the Jews, like, right? Saying that white supremacist rhetoric we hear. But it was like, he said, but something else seemed clear as well. If Jews weren't safe, then no marginalized or hate group was safe. It's like, it took you to realize that Jews ain't safe. Nobody's safe. It's like, bro, black people get fucked up in America forever. It's like it took the mass shooting at a Jewish synagogue for you to be like,
at a recent event.
That was like 2018. It's like, if we're not safe, then no marginalized group is safe. Like, when black people get fucked up for years before civil rights. Like, it seems like there do be like a disconnect. You know what I'm saying? Because like they try to, you know, connect the Jewish and black communities together, both historically marginalized communities, historically, whatever. But it's like that part in the book, I was like, it's now conceivable. It was now conceivable that extremists would not only direct hateful speech at perceived outsiders and dehumanize them, but also find them in their most sacred spaces and mow them down in broad daylight. And if I can remember correctly, I could be wrong about this, but if I remember correctly, Dylan Ruth killed those black people in that church before this other white supremacist killed those Jewish people in that synagogue. Yeah. So like to say, now they're killing people in their place of worship. Like you seem a little out of touch with some of the, you know.
I mean, what can you expect from them though? Like most groups of people.
But I expect when you're a civil rights organization, wherever you kind of, especially when they got like a heat map of hate
for that group,
and they got, yeah, that's true. But still, it's like when you try so hard to push the black and ADL, NAACP, ADL work so closely together, we're both here together. You would think that you would know the history of this group, and then, you know, like vice versa, if that's what you do.
Yeah, I mean, I've never felt the ADL presence in my life. Like, I've never really heard of this group. I never heard of that. Like, you heard of the NC, what the fuck? I can't even say it.
NAACP,
Yeah, you've heard of that before, right?
the NCAA.
Like, yeah. I'm definitely gonna fumble that one. But I've never heard of ADL till it's like situations like this. So it's like to be like, oh yeah, they like to merge identities and our traumas and stuff. Like, I've never felt that. So to me, it's like, yeah, I understand the disconnect, honestly, because when you think about how like isolated or like just isolated these groups are, these like different people are, bro. Plus them already having a certain way to like viewing our culture and not maybe liking us or having a certain disdain from us. They don't want to touch it. They don't want to look at us. They don't want to observe it till it's like clearly in their face. Like for most people, George Floyd was clearly in their face.
Yeah.
And there was thousands of other people before him, right? So it's like, it makes sense to disconnect is all I'm saying. And it's
but even that, but it's like that shooting, the Dylan Ruth shooting, like that was like that's in your face. When a white boy come and kill 8 people black people in their church for being black, and you hear the story of him sitting in there with him, they trying to pray with them and do all this, good shit with him. That's a story he had to have seen.
Yeah, it just speaks to the echo chamber because I feel like Sneeko did something similar when the Asian thing started kind of getting a little ramped up for the percentage that it had been at. I mean, he was in the ISO chamber and he kind of felt like it was a big thing, and that's how he kind of viewed the world.
Yeah.
And it's like I don't know. I feel like it's similar because it's like it takes your own people to see that things are kind of fucked up when it's like clearly other things going on. Like even from like homeless people and shit like that. Let's get out of race. Like just humans in general. Like you can clearly see. Like, are you being for real when you make statements like that? When you say marginalized, or are you only talking about like by race? Or because there's clearly a lot of marginalized shit going on in America. Like anybody can see that. It don't take a genius. Like I think most middle class people have a certain disdain towards the rich. Most poor people have a disdain towards the rich because they feel like it's such a gap and it's like almost impossible. So to act like you're a dude that's well researched, like you said, I'm more starting to agree with you. It's like, yeah, it's kind of stupid when you think about it.
Yeah, because you brought up the Tulsa massacre, so it's like,
yeah,
to say that like, oh, the Jew, it's like, now I don't know if now, like I said, full context. That's like page 44 of the book. Now I don't know if he's saying like, well, no, because he said any marginalized group and getting killed and nobody could hide in their sacred place. I just looked up the Dylan Ruth thing happened 2015. That was 3 years before the Tree of Life synagogue thing happened. So it's like, and black people are I don't like to compare like who, but in America at least, black people are way more marginalized than Jewish people. Jewish people get hate. Jewish people get, whatever they get. People write swastikas over there, kosher markets, and they get their fair share of hate. But we ain't act like black people don't get really, because like I said, when you Jewish, you mostly white. When you walk to a room, most people see white. Now y'all can talk about religion, or maybe if you're wearing a yarmulke, maybe it's a little bit different. But essentially, you white.
Considering the last like 15 since 2002, would you consider Arabs probably more hated
in America,
marginalized than Jews? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like you can point to a bunch of different groups that you would consider more marginalized.
Hate? Yeah.
Like I was watching a comedian. He was like, it's for the first time I could turn on the news and we're not the most hated. It's actually white people. He was making that joke. But for the longest, from 2000s, probably a little bit before that, Arabs was the enemy. Like those are the people. Like you see them on the plane. I'm sure they had problems with getting jobs and stuff like that when it came to like people's sensitivity to them. Like I'm sure just because like we're not in it, we didn't notice these different things. But if the hate was there, I'm sure all the other actions that comes with hate is going to follow too. So that's all. Like
like in Australia, that guy who streamed the Facebook video and he killed 51 people in a mosque. Like, I mean, that was in another country, but I think this thing too. I think people try to diminish the Muslim hate shit because they feel like it's justified because of places like ISIS and like jihad people. It's like, oh well, of course they hate y'all because look at what y'all's people are doing over here. But it's like you don't want people to categorize the worst of your group to paint the whole image. So you can't take ISIS people and Hamas and whatever Muslim group is doing bad shit and cast that on every other Muslim person in the world. The same way you don't want them to do that to you, you can't do that to everybody else. And yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying. So
it's just funny because it's like I get people don't want to judge like like the hard things that we go through, our traumas. I guess they say compare traumas and stuff, but
yeah,
like in this country of America, we got to be real though. Like when we talk about in the world, you talk about throughout history because Black people don't know our history. Jews may have the argument, yeah, because they was oppressed by the Pharaoh, whatever. But in America, what's fucking happening here, bro? You can't argue that it's even comparable. And I don't know, man. It's just weird. It's just weird, the conversations. I want to ask you this. How you feel about the reparations topic? Because I seen like on Jubilee or something that they was having this conversation. And a Jew basically said he believed that we should get them to a degree, considering they get it and they still get reparations. I did not know that. So
from who?
probably,
From Germany?
Maybe the NATO. I have no idea how that works. I'm clueless. But I know Germany did have to pay a lot of money to them. But I'm sure some other things going into that too. And they still receiving reparations. Well, like 60 years later, something like that. Yeah. 60, 80 years later. So I didn't know about that. So I feel like, yeah, that could contribute to their wealth long term. That's contributing to their wealth right now. And that's good. But I feel like, how do you feel? Obviously, you know how I'm gonna feel about this. How do you feel about it?
I guess it's like, what reparations?
Can we look it up?
Like,
do Jews get, or did they get?
No, I'm saying like, what should do you think it should be monetary? It should just be money? Like, it should just be like,
sure.
But it's like,
why not? Like,
I think about when you give people a bunch of money. I'm not just saying Black people in general. Just like
the same Black girl made that statement.
When you just give people money, they just gonna like think about the stimuluses and even like the PPPs. Like, people just gonna spend it on bullshit.
That's they
give somebody something
right.
like, but you should give somebody something tangible that actually, because that's not gonna help their life. Like, their wealth's not gonna go about
$4,000 or something like.
They was getting thousands of dollars from the PPP shit. I'm not talking about the stimulus.
Yeah, that only lasted like 3 months.
Exactly. So if I give every Black person $25,000, tell me how it's gonna help you out 10 years from now.
Oh, you think? Oh, I don't think they just got $25,000. I think they get a lot of more money than that.
But they're not. But first, they're not gonna give they're not gonna give every Black person like $100,000. You know how much money that would be? Whatever 13 million times 100,000 is, they're not gonna.
We only 13%. We only 13% of the population, so it ain't like they got to pay the whole population. And then let's be real. I don't know if they count Africans in that population. Africans, hey, they Nigerians and stuff like that. I'm just saying. So I don't know if they gonna be elected into that too. I don't know. So it's not like they have to pay fucking everybody in America. And the thing about it is, to me, it's like, say they pay us $3,000 a month, plus like a $20K, like a beginning thing, and then they pay for the rest for our lives for the next 200 years, for the next 400 years. Because I'm just saying, we've been enslaved for them for 400 years technically. They pay us like a certain amount of money. I feel like how that don't help. Like, at the end of the day, it gives people, a lot of Black people, the freedom to think, the freedom to not have to stress, the freedom not have to pay check to check. And I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, I can see how you talk about, oh, they'll get financially fucked up. They'll still be financially check to check. But the fact that they got money that's constantly coming in, I don't know, man.
I don't know. I was listening to Rizza Islam, and he was talking about reparations. He wasn't just talking about the dollar amount. He was saying he thinks that they should give Black people, what did he say? He said 2 or 3.
Like
he said 2 or 3 states, right? I forgot what he said. 2 or 3 states, something like that. And he was saying that, but don't give us no bullshit state. Give us a state that has fertile land to grow and to do all that. He was saying like Alabama and like maybe places like that. Give them that, but you also have to, for the next 25 years, you have to still give infrastructure and funding into those Black places, and eventually we'll be able to do our own shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that's tangible, but there's 41 million Black Americans, right? Like I said, 41 million. It's probably not all. Like you said, not all. I don't know how they're gonna count. Is it foundational Black Americans? Is it just direct descendants of slaves? I don't know how you do up the reparations in that type of way. But
you gotta do it like Kevin Samuels in Atlanta. So you gotta take a black test.
A black test. 40. You said what? $1,000 a month?
I said 4,000 or something like that.
For each person?
Yeah.
I think that's a lot of money.
I mean, shit.
That's 100. That's
the
100.
Jewish dude.
That's 100. That's $164 billion a month.
Get the cooking.
They're not doing
Get the cooking.
That's not even something they would even think. You said for the next. You said for 400 years too.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, but when we talk about some realistic shit, there.
But
that's
no,
what,
but
is that
let's
like
be
more?
real.
That's
Let's
more
be
than the
real.
trillion. That's $400 trillion.
Let's be
You
real.
saying they should give?
Let's
Now,
be
I'm
real.
not saying it's not deserving. I'm just saying like we know. Come on.
Oh, I'm not saying that's what they're gonna do, but I'm having a conversation that's probably warranted. The Jew dude said there's not enough money for them to be paid for their atrocities, and they went through that for a grand total of about 10 years, 20 years, if you want to count the Hitler regime. I don't know how long he had his span because it was from World War I to World War II. So we went through 400, a few trillion, and it's not like. See, this is the thing. It's not like they're not gonna be able to get that money back. We're still gonna be spending to their businesses until we get our corporations, and even when get our corporations, we still gonna be merged with America, bro. They're still a powerful nation, and it's still about capitalism. We still gonna move through the system that we know, essentially, especially in the beginning. Like ain't nothing gonna change too much in the beginning. So it's not like that money that they giving us, just like you said with the PPP loans and all this different stuff. It's gonna get recycled back into into their systems. And even when we start to branch off, it's not like they're not gonna make no money off us at all. We still gonna trade with them. We still gonna do bigger business with them. It may not be on the consumer level, but they'll still be able to make money and stuff like that. So I don't know. But I was looking at the Jewish thing and what they made. I was trying to find an individual. They got paid $3 billion over the next 14 years. Journey paid Israel some of 3 billion marks over the next 14 years. I don't know when that 14 had started and ended. 450 million marks were paid to the World Jewish Congress. I don't know how
That's like giving reparations like organizations and the state of Israel, and that's not like giving reparations.
I think these people. I think the people.
I seen Germany paid out $33 billion. That's a payout. That's like It's like I don't know exactly. It's like I don't know exactly. They gave it to the individual, like descendants of the Jews. If that's, maybe it's what that guy said that you were watching, but
767 million was Germany set aside an additional 767 million
for Holocaust
survivors.
They get an annual pension of $5,200.
So that's a year.
Yeah.
And that's probably not much. That's $5,000.
You get an extra $5,000 a year. Maybe they should make it maybe instead of like reparational, they should just make it like a tax credit, like having a kid.
Tax credit, land. I think I like the dude that you mentioned, his idea. But my only thing about that is I feel like with the states, I mean, it's only 13% of us. I feel like you'll have to give us individual land because it's like, how do you divvy that up? Who gets to lead it? Who's the presidents of the state? So that's just.
Well, weird. I don't know. Maybe he said that would be separate from America. I don't remember if he said still a part of America.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like, so like we'll just be thrown into these states and would like no
figure it out.
Try to feed it. Like I was like, nah. I would like to. If we was gonna get those states, we still get a certain amount of acres per person that will fit in these amount of states that the 13% of black people. Like, I'm pretty sure we can all fit in fucking Texas, if I'm being honest. But they're not giving up Texas.
Yeah, they're not giving up Texas. You ain't getting Texas, you ain't getting Florida, California, and New York. But you wouldn't even want certain states like that. Like, because he was saying more fertile lands for like agriculture and shit like that.
Yeah. I know agriculture, but even then, when you got ports and stuff like California does, like.
Yeah, but I mean, Alabama got like you get the Mississippi River running through there, so you could get
exactly. So it's like
shit going there.
The fact that you can have one of the main ports going through your. Like, because you got to think, so say if you was California, just for instance, we just kind of rambling right now. Like, a lot of the stuff that China has, they will ship to California, then ship through. So you can have your own country's taxes and things like that for shipping through them. So there's a lot of different benefits that you could get for even just having a coast. It ain't got to be fertile lands because, I mean, shit, that's how most countries survive through trading.
Yeah.
Essentially.
And I actually rented that movie, that Kyrie Irving. I started watching it, like,
that boy different about to be woke.
I mean, no, it's like a shitty documentary. Like you watch certain documentaries and it's like, damn, this shit's convincing me. It's like, it was just the way it was made. Like maybe he didn't have the budget or whatever, so I'm not trying to like shit on him. Like he made something and it was creatively done, whatever. But it's like I was watching, I was like, it's all right. And he used some Hitler quotes to like go against the Jews. And I'm like, I definitely don't probably, I'm not gonna, be the Hitler guy. And even like what the guy said about the Jews and the Holocaust, like, that probably ain't something I would agree with, saying that was, the entire thing was like made up. Now, if you want to say like certain banks or whatever possibly help fund them, that's something you can actually look into and research and see. But yeah, I don't know. But I still don't think Kyrie should have been like destroyed because he didn't immediately like bow down. Oh, I'm so sorry. He's just like, hey, bro, I tweeted out a movie. You can watch it. Amazon's still selling it.
I feel that way too, because it's like it's a religious thing. Like the fact that he posted him as King David and his AV, not him as being King David, but he posted King David and his AV being black and stuff like that. Just like it's one of them ones that you really can't argue, bro. You're gonna die on it. Like they're gonna end up losing that argument when all the facts and stuff come out, if you was to be honest. So it's just like it's just a dumb battle because it's not really based on him really believing Hitler was right, bro. Like that was the whole like out of context shit. Like we see them constantly media.
Well, the thing he said Hitler said was essentially like
this. Also, Kyrie never said that.
Oh, okay. What
The
guy said was essentially like, God is gonna punish you guys because you sent his chosen people away, and the chosen people are the black people. And it's like a guy like Hitler, I don't think he's gonna be the guy to be like, the chosen people are black. Like I just don't see Hitler, who was like white race, this is the great race, to be like, but actually God chose the black. Like I don't think Hitler would say something like that.
Yeah.
But I digress.
But it's just like I said, with the media, they always take a shot out of context. And this is just another case of it. Whenever they try to cancel somebody, most of the time, it ain't really based on, well, I ain't gonna say most of the time. When it comes to like the red pill people or like these people that they've been banning off like social media platforms, not so much of like actually being a weirdo type shit, but they take them out of context. And then I feel like this is the same thing with Kyrie. We know that this nigga wasn't being like fucking ban the Jews, hate the Jews. It's out of context. Kyrie always been on the woke shit, and he was more on it was all about the Hebrew Israelite shit, if we being honest.
Yeah.
And
even like the sixth thing, like apologize
for that, bro.
I say he apologized on Instagram. But y'all just mad he didn't apologize like this, like to the community. I apologize deeply for like, bro, he already apologized. He said he don't agree with everything in the film. He's sorry for, whatever, running to post it. He already tried to donate $500,000. They denied it. So it's like,
what else I seen too is they was gonna never let him live this down. And when somebody tweeted that, it brought back the visuals, all the other athletes that's been through this before. Kobe died. One of the first things Gil was talking about was his
case.
It's like they kind of hold that against you to a degree. And they was going to always do that to Kyrie. He never was going to be considered one of the greatest. He might have had trouble in the Hall of Fame later on because they was going to bring up shit like this and COVID. But when you really think about it, he was morally right, especially after all the shit that comes out both times after. So it was going to be held against him. And that was the thing. It wasn't no amount of like, it wasn't nothing he could have said in his apology or how he apologized that was going to satisfy them at the end of the day. And that's another part of that. I feel like that buck breaking that we missing too is like it's the like the victim belief that they can actually please the master or they can actually like get on that good side when it's just like nah.
Yeah, because even he could apologize, do all sensitivity training ADL, meet with the owner and da-da. But people are still gonna bring up, hey, I remember Kyrie tweeted that anti-Semitic film 5 years ago. Like it's still gonna be brought up. So it's not like it's gonna,
if he do anything slightly like just that goes against the grain, all that shit gonna be lumped right back into it again.
Yeah,
like he could been doing good, and then something else happens, man, and it's right back to, oh yeah, y'all remember? Like imagine if Kobe would have got caught cheating afterwards or something, but like didn't he learn his lesson the last time he got caught with that fucking like they were just like they were gonna bring that shit back up, man. That's just how it is. That's how society is in general. Because I mean, people act like they don't have skeletons in that closet, but I did want to address this. With like I know it was more than just Shannon Sharp that had kind of like backpedaled a little bit, but I feel like I'm not gonna give him any credit or nothing like this for Shannon Sharp, but do you feel like with Shannon Sharp, him being so hard gives him leeway to like be like, hey, nah, this is too much? Because he actually put his foot down to agree. Like, do you feel like that's like how media kind of is to black people in a sense? Like, he can kind of have a say when things is too much because we know he on our side.
The thing with Shannon Sharp is, what did he actually say about Kyrie? Was he like harsh, like, oh, he's an idiot, or this like kind of like Shaq and Charles, like he's an idiot, he's stupid, he's this, he's that, COVID, da da da. Was like, or was he just like he shouldn't have? Like, what was he like real harsh with it, or he was just kind of critical?
I believe he was overly critical, especially when you consider he was as critical as everybody else, considering Kyrie never posted no hate shit. Kyrie never put on a swastika. He was coming with that same venom as it's like the same context. Like, bro, black people know we don't think like that, bro. How many black people you know advocating for Hitler? Like, we don't move like that, bro.
Or for like Jewish, like we hate the Jews.
Anybody, any race, like we don't even do that with white people. Like, come on, bro. It's like, so why would we do that for some people we never had technically beef with? Because we don't like. I know black people see it, and some black people like in Harlem and stuff talk about it, but that was shit in the 80s, bro. We so disconnected from that shit now and shit like that when the Jews used to own like the like certain buildings that tenants used to stay in and take care of them. We removed from that. Yeah. We don't know who owned the buildings no more, so it's not the same anymore. But I don't know, man.
I mean, they just, you know.
Do you
go hard a little bit and you kind of like, all right, like this is how I feel about Kanye. It's like, hey, Kanye do stupid shit. Kanye fucking only care about himself. And it's like you're in that moment because it's like everything is essentially like trivial. Everything isn't like there's not mass punishment on him. So you're just giving your opinion. When you start seeing shit like, ah, damn, stole it. It's like with Adidas. You take Adidas deal, you take Gap deal, you take this deal, take that deal, and then Adidas put out a press release today, said, hey, new Yeezy starting to drop early 2023. It's like, well, they're not gonna call them Yeezys, but hey, your design gonna start getting dropped. It's like, that might be a little like, all right, bitch, y'all doing too much now.
Yeah. So I agree, but I wanted to see like to maybe change the question a little bit. Like, do you respect somebody moving like that if they feel like they have to move like that? Like they got to be overcritical of their people just to be successful? Like, how do you the Uncle Russ? Like, I guess the Uncle Ruckus character type, because that's kind of what he was getting referred to. Do you be feeling that way? Like no, Stephen A. with COVID.
I think it's kind of unfair sometimes to black commentators too, just because like majority of the athletes they cover are black, so there's gonna be situations where they gotta go at black people. But it's like I would never look at them and be like I wouldn't look at Shaq and Charles like, oh, they're Uncle Ruck. Like they said some harsh shit they could have said in a different way. But when I think like a real Uncle Ruckus, like I think of a Jesse Lee Peters. Like there's really people out here who are like that's like a. I'm not saying you're saying that Uncle Ruckus, but like when people on social media like they like to make things that they're not. Yeah, they're overly critical. Yeah, they probably should have said better words because, like I said, Kyrie, give him a little bit of leeway.
See, I see where you're going, but I feel like with their popularity, we love them a lot, so we let them cross over lines they shouldn't cross. Like, I ain't gonna lie, how Stephen A. went at Kyrie over COVID and not wanting to take how a lot of them black analysts went on him. That shit's sick.
That was crazy. The COVID shit was
sick. Like, but it's like I could on ESPN, like, cause subconsciously, fuck it. Stephen A. on late night. I like Stephen A. because he's been in my mind for the last 20 fucking years. It's like I don't know. It's like I don't know if that shit fucking like bro. He's been fucking around. I get you. Like I see how you feel that.
He's been in my mind for 20 years.
Bro. Like the nigga been in the fucking atmosphere of like sports and shit for the last like 2 decades. So if you're not thinking like you just know Stephen A. bro. So it's hard to just like completely get rid of that person. The same for Shaq and Charles and it's like, I don't know, bro. It get to a point, it's like, are they just doing their job or whatever? Or it's like, how many times can they cross this line with certain people? Like, to me, I think
the thing with people on social media is like, because whenever they do criticize a black person too harshly, it's always like, oh, it's their master telling them to do it. Or maybe that's just their fucking opinion. I don't like, because y'all do all that shit, and especially for the NBA, was it NBA Tonight? What are they called? TNT Tonight, whatever? I don't know what it's called, whatever. Everybody gonna talk shit. But in 2 weeks from now, Charles gonna say something funny as hell. Shaq gonna do something funny as hell. This is the greatest show I've ever seen on TV. So it's like, like I said, they can have their opinion about Kyrie. I don't think you have to be like idiot. He's a dumbass. He's a like, you ain't gotta do all that type of shit. Because like Stephen A. I haven't really seen what Stephen A. said. Shannon, all I see was him like saying that this was a little bit too much. I saw what Shaq and Charles said. And I was like, that's extra.
It reminds me of just what they say with Malcolm X. They use these people to speak against you or each other to like kind of attack each other you basically use these people to speak for them in a sense. And that's what I guess people be like, it's the master coming down and talking. And the reason I be kind of agreeing with people to that degree is because they always on one side of the fence, bro. They never challenging, bro. And it's like it, dude, like you said, how people be missing the markets when they do it too much. It's like you don't understand people at all. Like with Kyrie and Stephen A, I stick to that more. It's like you don't understand at all how he doesn't want to do this, how it could be offensive to him and things like that. Even to the aspect they told him he wasn't gonna have to take it before, like all these different things, or just his human rights. It's like they don't see it at all. And that's what it'd be like. That seems like a calling because it's like most people, like, unless they are bigot, they could sway on the fence of things. Like they say, we're not completely one-sided when people, if you really take that test. And when it comes to these conversations, bro, it's like they never can see it from the other side when it's those people they don't like or it's that people that they want to make an example of out of media. And that's what be weird to me. Like even with the Kanye shit, for example, like they want to make it seem like Kanye is attacking Jews. So when he was like, let me use the names or whatever, or when he gives the example of what he's really trying to do, they still take it out of context and shit like that. It's just
they don't even really want that. I'm glad you brought that up because it brought me back to that book that I was reading from the guy. It's like they're telling Kanye, well, like I said, the ADL CEO isn't directly telling Kanye, but I've seen people saying to Kanye, like, just name the people. Don't say Jews. But like I saw with him, he's like, in all these like right-wing people like Alex Jones. This is like a chapter out of the book. I had it bookmarked, but I think it's on my phone actually. But pretty much he was just like, they have these conspiracy theories about the Rothschilds Bank and George Soros and how they have sinister plans. I mean, and you want them to call out direct people. They just happen to be Jews. They call out direct people. Mm-hmm. We can't act like George Soros doesn't have a big political influence in politics, and like, we're not gonna act like he doesn't. Is he doing it for evil? Whatever the fuck. Leave that up for y'all to interpret. I don't really even.
What makes it come?
I just know he donates a lot of money to district attorney things, Senate races, House races. I just know he does that.
And to go back to what I was saying, because I feel like we basically like helping each other points out. He basically like the same thing. They completely act like it's no way in hell that these rich ass people can be elites. You talked about this before. It's like you feel like George Soros or Rothschilds are just impossible elites that don't control anything. Like you feel like that's impossible. It's like, well, now it make me feel like you niggas is covering up for these niggas because that's not impossible, bro.
Well, he said he said that they act like Rothschilds and George Soros are doing sinister things, are doing evil things, which to somebody like whatever you like, Alex Jones might think that putting in very woke DAs to start an agenda is evil. Now, evil may be like a extra word, like it might be like a little bit more, but he could be like, hey, you're putting in this DA who's willing to bond out any criminal for any crime. I think that's evil for society. Like there's a different way you can use the word evil than just like, I think he's like a child of Satan or something like that. Like, I don't, what I'm saying? It's different meanings for the word evil and people look at the word evil differently. And now in media, it's used, it's just like, this is evil. Yeah. Like what's going on with Kyrie? The 6 things I could be like, that's evil. That don't mean like y'all are like the fucking devil. I just be like, oh, that's evil. Or, you know what I'm saying?
It's hate. It was an attack. Like these things, like that's not a fucking attack, bro. Like me as a black person, I know what a fucking attack look like. That posting a link ain't an attack, but even to what you were just saying, it's like to act like we can't follow George Soros like money and see who he's funded and the different things that he's done. It's like, come on, bro. He's done a few things that's questionable. Even to the idea of like motherfucker buying out all these people and having GMO shit. Like, come on, bro. Didn't
George Soros like bankrupt? Didn't he like bankrupt the Bank of England? I think he bet like he put I don't know exactly. I think he like put a put on the euro and then it tanked. Something like that. Something happened and he made like $1 billion in one day off of that. Now maybe that's just finance. That's just money. I don't fucking know.
No, you can definitely crash. If you got enough money, you can definitely collapse a market if you want to. If you want to. You can also make it go up if you want to. If you got enough money.
Yeah, Soros pumped $128 million into Democratic effort to preserve majorities. And he's
Black
not even
Lives
a
Matters.
and he's not even a is he a citizen here now? Because he's from Hungary. Like, is he even a oh no, he's a Hungarian American. Okay, I guess he maybe got his I don't know. Maybe got his visa or some shit. I don't fucking
He
know.
plays the Democrats. He played Black Lives Matter. He used to allegedly he used to play Black Lives Matter to go up on stages during like the nominees,
Like Bernie
presidential
Sanders and
nominees
shit like
stuff like
that.
that to like talk about like did call disruption and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So he was a part of some things that I would question because I mean I'm not a fan of Black Lives Matter, the organization by any means. So I don't think any black person should be at this point. So
yeah, but I mean, I guess that kind of rolls us into the politics shit. We can get into that. I know that's a real touchy subject for a lot of y'all motherfuckers. Everybody be, oh my god, what happened in Georgia? Oh, we hate Florida. What the fuck do y'all expect? I just don't get. What do y'all expect? Brian Kemp is the governor of Georgia. He kept that motherfucker open during COVID. Was good for small businesses. Pretty much is bringing. I don't know. Let me be frank about this one. I'm not sure if Hollywood was already moving to Georgia before him or after, whatever. Since he's been there, created a bunch of more jobs, people, trying to lower taxes to combat inflation, doing like what governor's supposed to do. What y'all want to vote him out because what? Because of abortion? Like
identity
that's the thing.
politics.
Abortion is like Stacey Abrams. They pumped $105 million into her. She just couldn't get it done. Maybe she doesn't have a message that actually resonates with people. I was reading the thing that said they keep blaming black men. We can get into that in a second, but like, I don't think it's ever happened where it's like 50-50 Hispanic. Now the Hispanics saying, "No, we vote Republican." So it's more like Hispanics 50-50 now. It's usually been like 70-30, maybe whatever.
Black
Democrats
people are
70.
so unserious, bro.
And then now it's like 50% Hispanic people, men and women, are voting Republican.
We're so unserious, bro. I'm just comparing, like you said, they're 50-50 already, bro. Oh, that's just in one state, but still, like
let me 100%.
you don't see that happen nowhere in black cities, bro. That's nominated by us in our voting. Or you don't see that in any of our statistics in any cities where it's 50-50.
Okay, so let me see. They have the exit polls out already.
That's funny, man. But no, what do they expect at this point?
They don't got the exit polls out, or like who voted for you. But I saw that somewhere.
It also is like, to me, it's like it's clear as day. The Democrats' biggest like tool is like identity politics. Hey man, look at this black person. Look at this token black person that we have in front of you that looks just like you. We're gonna put some people around them to dance and interview with and sing along with you. And it's so clear that they don't really care about you. They just like playing into the trope of what they think is you. They playing into the stereotypes of what they think are you, bro. And I don't just see it's just funny, man. Like people that really think they're gonna turn Texas red or blue or like shit like that.
Like they see Houston. They look at Houston, Dallas, Austin, El Paso, and they're like, that should be enough, right? That's the majority of the people are. That should be enough. But if you look at the Texas map, those are blue. Everything else is red. All that rural area up in the Panhandle, all that shit is all red.
Can I ask you a question, bro? If the cities are blue, wouldn't like the city politics and laws kind of reflect that? So if you were living in the city, you'd kind of be isolated and okay away from like, I mean, I know like the red stuff will happen, like if the state changes its abortion laws, of course. But for the most part, like the city laws, the county laws that you stay in would be like pretty much blue, right?
Progressive, yeah.
So it's like, do you even care if the whole state, if you can see your city, which is a pretty like lucrative city, that's an abundant city, that's, I mean, a part of the you can't like get rid of the city and like Texas not fucking survive. So essentially, a blue city kind of controls Texas economy and stuff like that. If this is how you want to look at it, I don't be getting it, bro.
I guess because like the state could just kind of put shit down on you. Like they control, like say if marijuana is illegal, if abortion is illegal, if the state still controls like whatever trickles down to the cities. Now, if the city wants to do like certain ordinances, maybe zoning things, but pretty much the state still controls all the law and whatever. And even like if Beto was governor, like I don't know if the Senate and the House and the Senate for states work the same as for the federal government. If Beto was governor, the Senate and the House would still be Republican. Because there's so many districts. Like I said, all that red everywhere. They probably got so many more House people, so many more little Senate candidates. It's like, I don't know. Beto, I think with them too, they pick an issue to be, and this is going to sound harsh, that most people really don't give a fuck about. Like I saw a lot of his thing was like the Uvalde thing, and I thought that was horrible, right? Those kids getting killed, that was horrible. But that ain't gonna be that ain't gonna be enough to get people to vote for you. Like I texted you earlier, I said when they did the exit polls and all that, most people who are going to vote were angry about inflation. They care about their money.
Eggs is $6.
That's what I'm saying. They care about their money. Like the Uvalde shit is tragic. It is. But most people weren't affected by it. You can see it and be affected like visually, like, damn, oh man, them kids, fuck, man, that's fucked up. But 3-4 weeks from now, a month, 2 months from now, especially when those ain't your kids, there's people deciding to put food on the table or turn the lights on. Like it's like, bro, come on, you gotta be talking about something else.
Yeah, you just can't stand on that, bro.
And like he's talking about the power grid thing. Like the power grid shut off, what was that, 2 years ago, 3 years ago?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't know. They ain't shut off since. I don't fucking know. I don't
Have we even had a winter since then?
Like, I don't know. Nobody gives a fuck. Like, I don't know. Like, that's not gonna work. It's like, let me pick out the 2 worst things that happened in Texas and try to run on those, and hopefully it works.
And these people don't be from
work.
like I think I heard you say like Adams had ran in Louisiana before. Like they not
no. She's in Georgia. I was bringing up a guy named Gary Chambers, right? Because he was making cool little ads and shit like that. That were creative, but it's like, your ads are creative, but like I said, they keep throwing up these people who keep losing. Beto ran for senator against Ted Cruz, almost did good, almost won, lost. Ran for president, got washed out of that pool. Now he's ran for governor, fried. Why I keep putting this guy in front of us? Obviously, people don't want to vote for him. Stacey Abrams lost in Georgia. She said, voter suppression was going on. Okay, boom. She turned voting around. They still claim voter suppression. It was the highest voter turnout. I don't see how there's more people voting, but it don't make sense. And she lost big. Kemp was like 54%. She was like 48, like 47. Like he kind of wiped her out the way. He got like 2.3 million. She got 1.8 million. And even that, how they blaming black men, right? They say, oh, black men, whatever. Black men. I think she said that black men are being funneled misinformation. That's why they're doing whatever. There isn't. What's the numbers? There isn't 500,000 extra black men that could have voted for you to help you win. You lost because there's more white people in Georgia who probably voted for Brian Kemp. And also there's black people that just don't vote for Democrats. There's a lot of black people that I don't know why y'all assume like, hey, the black people are just going to vote for you. Gary Chambers did a whole video. He was like, in Parrish County, there's 116,000 black people. Only 10,000 y'all are registered to vote. And then, like, what makes you think just because they're black, they're going to vote for you? They might vote for the Republicans, right?
I wanted to bring that up too. About that being only a certain amount of people that could vote. I feel like it's just be disingenuous when they try to target people that do vote or people that are into it. It's like, bro, if you really want to get and reach people and really win, bro, there's a big fucking market that you're missing. I think Texas had 12 million people that didn't vote, bro.
Yeah, something like that. Eligible voters.
So if Beto really wanted, what was it? That's the name, right? Beto? I don't pay attention to this shit.
Beto, yeah.
If he really wanted to win, bro, you had 12 million people you could have reached with the right marketing, the right campaigning, and the right conversations, bro. Like, let's be real. And I feel like it's the same with Adams, but it's nowhere in the history of the world you could be mad at the people for not buying your product. Like, you got to be mad at yourself. You selling the product being like, man, fuck the world. Nobody wants to buy my product. Everybody sucks. Is that going to get your product sold? No. So, but for some reason, I guess because they feel like they got these token votes and we've been voting for them. It's been easy. Like they basically became a crutch to them, and they feel like they earned this shit. They supposed to deserve it, and they don't got to do no work for it. And it's apparent, bro. Because I feel like if just to give it a ratio, let's say we had 12 million, we're a bigger state. Let's just say they had an extra 2-3 million. Like you said 500,000. Whether that's black, whether that's white, I don't care, bro. You had a lot of people that you could have reached, and you just didn't do good enough, bro. You can't blame.
I think it's like that. I think they're like so. They think it's so. They feel like it's a guarantee black people are going to vote for Democrat. In a lot of places, it is kind of a guarantee if they're going to vote, right? But you have to get those people who want to vote, and also you got to get the white people. to want to vote for you.
I
You
was
got to get the
gonna say
Hispanics
that.
to want to vote for you. You have to get these people to vote for you to really win.
When has black vote have ever been just enough? Like even with Obama, like yeah, we all voted for him, but it still took a big amount of white people to get him in the office. That's no different. So yeah, it just shows how off the pedal or off the gas or how much they have melded in as far as the Democratic Party, bro. Because it's like this should be common sense, and you can see like they only pander to like women or it's really black women, gays, young adults, immigrants, but they pander to a certain niche, bro. Like they don't. It's not like we have a message for the all, and that's weird to me as well. Like as far as politics, I know you have your one side that you gotta like please to, but I would feel like you would have a message for all. Like, hey man, everybody should feel like you want to be a Republican. We're thoughtful people. Like I don't know. I feel like they be kind of like pushing people away damn near as the Democrats. I'm being real. Like they really be pushing us away when it seems like that'd be the last thing you'll want to do as like a popularity contest.
Yeah, because it's just like, dude, it's like what you said earlier. It's like you mad at people for not buying you. You expect people to just be like, here's a product, I have to like it. No, but you gotta sell me on you. What you gonna do for me? What are you gonna like? Why are you over this person? Not just, oh, they're Republican, they're just racist. Like that, I don't know why they think that's still working.
Shit.
That's
like,
not that doesn't still
so
work. Like I said,
shallow.
I didn't vote. I ain't vote. I don't know. I didn't go out there. I didn't go to the fucking school. But like, my thing is like, obviously, okay, 2022's over. It was supposed to be a red wave. It was like, they got control of the House, the Senate. We still up in the air. Arizona, Nevada, and Georgia's going to a runoff. They got to do another election. Herschel Walker Warnock in December, right? Because I think you have to get over 50% to win in Georgia. If y'all see, obviously, the Republicans ain't doing that good either because they was expecting like blow them out. So maybe their messaging is bad too. It ain't just Democrats. I think people are kind of tired of this whole like, we're against them. They're against it. We just want a motherfucker to come in, be moderate, say, and be real. Hey, it's high crime. I'm gonna try to figure out how to lessen the crime. Hey, it's high inflation. We're gonna try to put things in place to stop inflation, to ease the thing in families. Hey, bro. There's this. Let's try to do this. Hey, there's this. Not. They whatever. Like the abortion thing. It happened. They said it's gonna be the worst thing in the world. Maybe. I'm not saying discredit. For some people, it may be. Some people want to get abortions, they can't for whatever reason, incest, rape, even just, maybe you just had one mistake. You had one slip of like, fuck, I don't have time for a kid. I'm in medical school. I don't got time for a kid. I'm in whatever you're doing. I get that. But those are issues that are going to impact the overwhelming majority of people that you need to vote for you. So you can say those things. You can say like, hey, I'm going to keep abortion here in Georgia. But don't harp on certain things that don't appeal to the mass audience.
I say I get what you're saying. You're right. Just bro, be well-rounded, bro. Like, yeah, people care about abortion, but people care about inflation. Address the fucking topics that really fucking
people
matter.
Care about crime. People care about what's going on in kids' schools. Like literally, the reason a guy
they die on certain ledges, though.
That's what happened. That's what happened last year in Virginia. There was literally a Democratic governor. I think he was the governor at the time. He was running. I think they're doing like a special election because maybe Biden took the governor and made him something in his administration. I don't remember. But the whole thing came about schools. There was like sex books in the kids' schools. There was a transgender bathroom situation happened where a girl got raped because there was a transgender student that was allowed to go into the bathroom, raped the girl. They kind of tried to cover it up, moving to a different school, and they're just trying to cover it up. And literally, the governor, who was a Democrat, got on stage and said, "It isn't a parents. What do you say? Somebody it's not up to them what they learn in school. They don't like. It's got we control your kids. You think that's gonna win you the election? And then he lost, and he wasn't even supposed to lose, but he lost because like this stupid shit. Why would you say that? Why would you go on stage and tell parents y'all don't get to control what happens in the school? Y'all shutting down what's it called teacher meetings and all type of shit like that. Say, oh, you can't talk to this meeting if you don't live here. That all this shit like that, bro. You're gonna fucking lose every time.
I want to ask you a question, bro, because we love to talk about local politics because people are pointing out the hypocrisy of like the two parties and shit like that. Mm-hmm. You know, it's no different in the local. what do you feel like it would really like, or I don't even know how to shape this question. Do you really feel like there are like politicians that can be out there that can actually create change? Like, do you still buy that,
I don't
even
think
if it's local? Like,
I don't think individual people can create change. I think it has to be like a mass movement of people who create change.
so do you think that could be done through like a certain wave of voting and things like that, or do you think that's possible? Like, hey, let's all change the Senate to blue and get a blue president and get blue local. Is that going to create the change? Like,
I mean, they had that right now, not no more, but they had
and it didn't
House.
work.
The House was blue, the Senate was blue, the president's blue. But with the Senate, they got the different laws. A lot of shit can't get passed unless it has like a supermajority. So you need 60 senators. It was only 50-50. So it's like that.
So it got to take a huge wave to really create white.
You got to really spark. If you for the like, because I remember I seen you on Twitter that said like voting doesn't matter. To an extent, I would agree with certain things, but like you can, like, but it's got to be like a massive thing to really create change. But then if you do that and you get to 60, like Obama had the supermajority when he was president, they just didn't do certain shit. Like they could have did what they're talking about now, like this the what they called Supreme Court overturned Roe vs. Wade, right? Obama's Senate back then when they had the supermajority could have codified it and made it a law, so it don't even matter what the Supreme Court said. They didn't do that. So it's like, even I think gay marriage, they didn't codify that. They made it legal, but they didn't codify it or something like that. Because like some ruling like Obergefell versus something like that. The Senate could
that was even a thing.
The Supreme Court just could overturn that tomorrow. And then gay marriage would be illegal in whatever states deem it illegal. So y'all could have codified that. Y'all didn't do that either. So I was like, I mean, like I said, I think voting can change things. Because like I said, look at it. I mean, getting Donald Trump elected and him having the Senate be red, I believe at the time maybe the House was blue, but to get confirmed justice, it has to be, it's the Senate, not the House. They got in their Supreme Court justices, and they got in Amy Coney Barrett, they got in Brett Kavanaugh, they got in Neil Gorsuch. So
what they do really like?
I mean, they overturned Roe versus Wade. I mean, it's not their fault. Like they overturned Roe versus Wade, it goes back to the states, right? So the states just decide. That's why I see places like Alabama illegal, this place illegal. So then you'd have to change your state to blue.
So, okay, let's ask a deeper question. I see there's certain changes here and there. That's what I'm thinking that you're getting at. How much change, or do you think there's enough change that can happen to where the actual average citizen to be satisfied?
No, because it's a two-party system. So it's like, if something happens for you, you'll be satisfied because you're on this side. But if you're on this side,
so there's no ever just like nobody's ever bickering.
No.
Oh, see that be my shit, bro.
No,
that's be my shit, bro. And what I was talking about earlier with shit not mattering is like, you gotta think about who created the fucking educational system. It wasn't Ford. It was one of these rich white dudes that created the shit, and it's been around forever. But it was a government fund. I mean, it was
Socrates.
No. I'm talking about the American education system. It was it was either because it was due because they created schools because they wanted to make better workers. Like that was the initial reason they created schools. So it was like Henry Ford or one of these dudes that created in the industry. Was in the industrial. Fuck, I can't even say the word. Industrial. Thank you. Market at the time. So with shit like that, for example, that's something that's been made. Like people don't really even understand why it was created. A lot of people that do, even if the people that do, they like benefit from it. But at the end of the day, it's like an oligarchy at this point. If you was to just try to reform and change the school system, the amount of rampant shit and like think pieces and like ideas of which way we're going to go, like it would take so much work. Like I just don't be seeing stuff like that could happen because a lot of the shit, like people are living off of that, people are benefiting off of that, people are eating off of it. If we want to change the government, it's like it's not that you're just reforming the government, you're also affecting the people that work for these things. You're also affecting, so it's like, yeah, it may be morally correct, but now you're also firing 1 million people that may be morally incorrect. So it's like, how does fucking voting change these big oligarchies that like they are trees of life at this point that like people are invested in? Like there's literally been families that's eating off these trees. You're like my mom and shit been working at like most of my people in my family that's like close to me have worked at the post office at some point in their life. Like that's a big thing. You take that away, my family may not be in the middle class no more. Like shit like that could like affect people in ways where it's like, in another way, it's like, oh, that shit's morally wrong. Like, so it's like, I don't know. I just don't see how we think voting is the way of going about things anymore, especially when you look at shit from that aspect.
I think it's voting is when you look at it from like the law and those type of things. Because like I said, when you vote, the House people in, the Senate, they're there to create the laws, right? The Senate, not the Senate, the Supreme Court is there to interpret the law against the Constitution, and the president is there to enforce the law, right? That's like the Bill of Rights. Was it like that's like the thing, executive, whatever, do the laws. It just depends on what you want. It just depends on what matters to you. But also, you can't, even like student loans, right? There's people that are happy as hell about student loans, but there's also a lot of people that's not. So it's like, there's never gonna be a time where everybody's gonna be, especially with how divisive politics is now. Oh, the leftists are the worst, and oh, ultra MAGA, and like the way it is right now is never gonna be like, doesn't matter.
If somebody always feel like they losing, let's even looking at the colleges. I don't care about colleges, fuck them, they can lose all that money, but to a college, they're not gonna think like I think. So you telling me like this money that was in our books, like it's just magically we can't request that anymore? Like, are y'all gonna fund us? Like, it's many things that's gonna make people upset about it. Or like you said, the people that may already paid and stuff like that. But it's just, you're gonna always offend another side. And I just don't see how in this like two-party system or me against you type of world that or society that we're in now, bro, I just don't see it happening, bro.
I think it's probably always been like that. Everybody, because it's always been a two-party system. I like always been. The thing nobody's is, happy.
We've been
the South versus the North. This versus it's always been like.
But I feel like we were more self-sufficient as a people, and we were less self-sufficient of the government. I mean, less self-reliant on the government. So that caused the like. It could have been government dysfunction. It could have been government problems. But the fact that I got my crops and shit, like unless somebody's actually coming on my land and pillaging my shit. Like my family's good, unless it's like a fucking like dust storm come. Like I'm good. So government corruption and shit, yeah, that might have been happening, but it didn't necessarily affect me as much. Yeah, I might have had to pay a tax or two here, but it's a little different. Nowadays, it's like, you got your bank accounts and shit. Like if they want to get you out of here, like, or even if like you like so many different things, bro. We rely on the government in so many ways that I couldn't even explain them or even imagine at certain points, bro. Like if we was to just get rid of it, a lot of people would feel that shit, especially like people that's like disabled and stuff now because we created those systems. Back in the day, you had, if you were disabled, you had your family and you had their crops. Now the government is the people that take care of them. And now how can you get rid of the government because they fucking take care of disabled people? It's like your mind can really get fucked when you start talking about the changes that need to be created. Because what, we're just gonna shit on all the fucking disabled people that gets money every day? Of course, yeah, it's homeless people. Nobody doing shit about that, but
foster kids, all type of shit.
We can't just get rid of shit. It's just, so it's like I don't know what people want besides like, bro, you gotta be real.
I think people just want to win.
But only way to win, to me, bro, if you're not being realistic, is self-sufficiency and like family.
No, but I mean they just want their, it's like these are football teams.
Oh,
like we just want to win. Like, yeah, we'll say we want these things to happen, but at the end of the day, they just want they people to be in control. Now, whatever happens when y'all in control, we'll complain, we'll do whatever. Like, oh, y'all didn't do shit for us. But then they just want their people to win.
They ignore it. They gloss over it. Like the Democrats say, they ain't did shit for us in 40, 50 years, but we don't give a fuck. Like, they want their people to overall win. Black people. But yeah, it's like if we won, Obama or whatever, he was president, we fucking won as black people, but he didn't do shit for us, but we won. Like, yeah, that's a good point, bro. That was the deep one.
I see a lot of people, they was just like the whole thing for this election on Democrats side I see leaning up to is like a lot of people, democracy is on the ballot. If the Republicans win, democracy is over. It's done with. The Republicans are going to take over, destroy your life. I mean, we'll see. I mean, they only run the House right now.
How you feel about praise?
The current structure may not be ideal, but it's good. I think the structure. I think this is good. Like, you know, I think like we got like the Twitter,
but
bickering and the whatever. But I mean, you know,
it just honestly, man, I feel like the biggest change the America needs to go back to is supporting the American family, bro. That'll fix a lot of problems in itself. Homelessness, the crime rates, all these different things, education. Because a lot of times, yeah, the school can educate you, but if you got a family, like the education gonna kind of come from there, and the school can kind of just do the little extra work. Like, so like the character building and morals and things like that, that'll be built more structured when you have families. I feel like we gotta do something like that, bro. Because my thing is like, it's hard to say this everything is good how it is now, because how do you say that to a homeless person? How do you say that to people that's not getting the care they need to get taken care of? And it's like, I get it. It's sufficient enough for some people, but it's something that I feel like I said, the family unit shit, that's some shit. If we got back to that, that should have cleared up at least like 5 major problems in the world, from a lack of identity and a lot of different things. Like, I feel like that's the shit that we gotta look into before we start talking about some fucking politics. Because there's no solution that they could possibly come up with, bro. It's too complex. And as I looked into research on my Twitter and shit like that, somebody asked like, who really controls these politicians? Because like I said, they were puppets to these systems like education and the military and pharmaceutical and things like that. Like, who runs these things? And it made me think of the Bush family, how they've been around for. I remember going back because I was looking at my family chart and I was like, oh shit, you can look up other people's families. I don't know how the fuck I got in Bushes. I was like on ancestry.com or whatever it would have been. And I went back to like the 1300s and shit like that. And then after that conversation yesterday, I went back and there were so many other different families. And it's like, bro, these families be around. Like the Ford family was around having influence and being business owners like in the 1700s. And then they have one person in their family that end up being like a congressman. And then like 20, 30, 40 years later, you get Henry fucking Ford that's creating a Ford T model and shit like that. And that's what we're missing. Like when Kyrie, like something like when I seen that shit, the first thing that came to my mind was like, Kyrie's like, I know where I come from. And like, yeah, we could talk about it in a deep aspect of like, I'm a fucking Israelite, I'm a son of Abraham, but like, no, these people know where they come from because like they seen their father do it. They have their grandparents did it. Like they can look back through a history and have like fucking family morals. It's literally like a family code. There's a family like reputation that these people live by. And that's what, like, if you want to amplify Kyrie saying he knows where he comes from, I feel like that's what these families really can truly say. Because it's like, I don't know my great-great-grandparents because they might have been in fucking New York or some shit, but these people like directly connected because they got, you know, the funds, they got the rituals, they have the, not even rituals, but like what do you call like family events that people go to?
Gatherings.
Not even gatherings, but when you like, it's something that you always do.
Traditions. They have these traditions that's built in over time where these people stay connected enough. That's how I felt in Hawaii. I was just like, because the guy was some of his grandfather, great grandfather, and the stories they're able to pass down, and like you can tell it's like a real like Hawaii obviously is touched by like American capitalism, tourism, and all that type of shit. But you could tell that a lot of those people still have their like base, fundamental Polynesian cultural identities, right?
Kamehameha.
Because they're like, is Goku a
nah, that was the black. It was a black king that was the king before America took over.
Oh, he was a black guy?
I believe so, if I'm not mistaken.
Don't tell Hawaiian people that. But yeah, you can tell they got their shit because they got their stories through. What was they do? What's the shit called? It's not hula. I was just there. What the fuck did they do? It's hula, right? Hula dancing. Like they tell stories through dance. They tell stories through action. They do their luau's, which tell their stories of ancient ancestors. They got all that type of shit. Not that it's the greatest probably over there. But you know, I see what you're saying. But I do want to read this real quick. So this is a Wall Street Journal poll. More blacks and Hispanics voted Republican in the midterms. It says, according to findings, 17% of registered voters said, black registered voters said they would vote for a Republican candidate for Congress over a Democrat on Tuesday, more than double the percentage who did in 2020 2018. So they're losing black people. And they can't just say it's black men. Like they can't just be black men. It's gotta be black women too. They're like, you know what?
They just not allowed to black.
And even the black women, it's probably older black women. It's probably not like the young 20. I'm still in college, or I just got out of college. I'm 25. Probably like older 30s, 40s, whatever like that. And even Hispanics said like 31% of Hispanics were going to vote Republicans and over Democrat House people, and their biggest concern was once again inflation.
So let's try to be fair. If black people took their vote serious and actually made people like fucking do something for their vote, do you think that's possible? Like, do you think you can get changed like that? Because let's say the Asians, they got a hate crime bill like that. Because I mean, I'm sure they were way more connected and way more respected than we are as a political group.
Mhm.
So, do you feel like that's possible if we were like more serious as a group? Like we had an agenda, we had like say we was moving like the Muslims or something like with Farrakhan, and we had
Yeah.
a list of how we move, a list of standards of how we act and behave, and what we expect. Do you think that would be possible then? Where the voting will
I
work?
don't know, because I was thinking about this. Like, yeah, okay, more black people voting for Republicans, but like, listen. I think a majority of black people probably don't care about the shit that you were led to believe they care about.
In a perfect world, like we was all on one accord, and like they know without our vote, there's no chance in them winning. So they have to. They know we know that they need our vote, and they have to respect that. Do you think that?
I think this kind of. I feel like this will kind of make Democrats feel that heat right now. Like, I don't think I do. They're like, oh shit. So last time, only let's say 8% were voting for Republicans. Now 17. If we get to a black vote where it's 25% of black people voting for Republicans, we'll never win. Because the Hispanic vote is only going up more. White vote is going up more. White women in suburban areas, that's going up. First it was they was on Democrat side. Now everything going on. Now they're back to the Republican side. Like, they're like, we gotta do something, or we're never gonna win again. Especially in major elections. Like, of course, there's blue cities that are gonna California probably always gonna be a Democrat. I mean, even look at New York. They almost lost. Like, Republican almost became the governor of New York. Who would have ever thought that would fucking happen? But they got to get their shit together. People in New York.
Be getting a difference between like blue and red. Like, I don't know.
It's just people just won't change. That's what it is. So it's like, if you look at New York and it's ran by blue, and you see high crime, can't pay for shit, the city don't look good, you just like, you know what? We don't want to go blue again, because obviously what you're doing ain't working. Let's try this guy out. And then whenever that don't start working out, then it kind of just like ping pong back and forth. Unless you're just doing a good job, you consistently doing a good job. You know, like Ron DeSantis, the last time he ran for governor, they were new. It was him and Andrew Gillum. He only beat Andrew Gillum by 30,000 votes back when he first ran. But now, as he guided Florida through COVID, opened a bunch of businesses, you see a bunch of Wall Street motherfuckers moving down to Florida, all this type of shit. He beat the guy, I believe he had 4.3 million votes. The only guy had 2. So he like obliterated him. That's because people look, hey, you're doing a good job, we're gonna vote for you. So it's, you know, and if you start doing bad, they'll be like, oh, maybe we'll just throw a Democrat. Let's see what the Democrat can do. So I don't know. It's interesting. And everybody's saying like, oh, he should run for president. He should run for president. Like, he should go against Trump in the primaries. That's interesting. I think that's the most, like, that's the thing. That's why I think the Republican probably will win the presidency. Unless people just really just still hate Trump. If Trump wins, they still hate Trump. But like, I kind of think if they run again, Joe Biden and Trump, I kind of think that Trump would beat Joe Biden.
I don't think Joe Biden running again.
If I was Democrats, I would not run him again. I would start prepping somebody right now, putting them out to the media, like somebody else right now.
Hard, bro. They don't have nobody on that.
You got to find somebody.
They don't have nobody.
I was in the shower thinking about this. I was like, I ain't gonna lie to you. The only person they could probably get, and she got to come out and be like moderate. She got to come out and, you know, hey, we're gonna fix crime, we're gonna fix inflation. The only person that I think could beat Trump or DeSantis, possibly, Michelle Obama. That's the only person.
Oh no, she'll kill him.
That's the only person. Like, but she got to come out. She can't come out radical. She got to kind of come out, you know.
Nah, black women were, bro.
I mean, they ain't get Stacey Abrams elected, so they might not be enough.
That's not.
They might not be enough.
That's not the same. That ain't the same.
There's not enough black women compared to this America as a whole. You got to get the Hispanics. You got to get the white people. You got to get everybody, man.
That's true.
But I see a lot. I also, with the sentiment I'm seeing, a lot of even Republican commentators, they're like, I don't want Trump to run anymore. We're kind of done with the Trump shit. Like, everybody Trump backed. Some people won, but a lot of them didn't win. And even Trump was like, he's like shitting on DeSantis. He's like, when I ran for Florida, or like when he was the president, When Florida voted for me, I got 5.7 million. He only got 4.3. It's like, first of all, bro, it's midterms. Clearly, most people turn out for presidential elections than midterms. But it's like, you shitting on a guy who pretty much turned, like, Florida used to be purple. Florida's essentially now Republican, essentially. And it's like, you're going to shit on that guy who's doing good for the quote unquote Republicans. And there's not really too much you can, I mean, they're going to find shit to shit on about. But I'm just saying, like, who knows?
When you were saying that people like kind of want to be over the Trump like era, it made me think it's like who is like out of all the fucking candidates, who's really like qualified? Like even with the Biden shit, like is Biden really the person that's supposed to be the real challenger? Like that's the best that we got to challenge Trump that's supposed to be ass. Like
they said Hillary might come back, man.
And then like let's be real, like that's the like and then niggas start throwing in like, can The Rock be it? Or like when we talk about the presidency, and like I said, a lot of these systems that's been in place before us that's like probably won't get changed. It's kind of stupid. The whole vote for the president is kind of stupid. We want this person to be great at understanding inflation.
You gotta be great. You gotta be good at economics, foreign policy, just art. You know, United States problems. Oil,
local problems.
You gotta be good at everything. Like, bitch, you got advisors, so obviously you got people for education, transportation, all these fucking things.
And I get it. You vote that person in, and then they get to pick the people that they want. So you do it in good faith. You hope in good faith that they pick.
They're picking the best people.
Bro, man, they ain't fucking picking people that got way more insight on these things that can run circles around them. They wouldn't even know if they were being lied to or not when it comes to these conversations, bro. Because these people, bro, they're the perfect like figurehead or like close enough for American like to represent America. But bro, these niggas can't be all of that and fucking geniuses when it comes to everything to do with America. You gotta think about it. Like most of our presidents used to just be like army niggas. Like now this nigga's a man.
You gotta be a general. Like you had to be like doing shit.
But and that's fine. But now we expect the nigga, that same dude, to be like well versed in economics. Like he was like he's been shooting and shit and smoking cigarettes with his buddies for like 5
years. He running the country.
Like come on, bro. Like it starts to be kind of funny.
When I look at that, see the thing about Republicans, at least when you look at Republicans, you could be like, okay, you got Trump. Like I say that Trump's the greatest politician, but obviously you have that figurehead, right? You have that person with the personality, with the fan base, with the voter, whatever. You got a guy like Ron DeSantis who's proven in Florida that he can garner support, fight back against whatever. When you look at the Democrats, like, is it going to be? I mean, maybe they try to pull the guy from California out. Maybe they do a Gavin Newsom versus Ron DeSantis.
I
don't know. We'll see.
We need a perfect president. Like I said, that need to focus on family. But I think if we're gonna just think of the trends of America, we need an economical president, man, for these next 8 years or next 4 years if it so happened to be Trump. Because I mean, he was decent with the economics, trying to he had the good principles. Like he was really bringing back business over here, which I mean that's one of the fundamental things when it comes to economics. But we need an economical president that's very well versed in that, because I feel like that's the biggest threat to America in the next decade for the most part. Say if we was in World War III, was already happening, we might need a war general. I think we should kind of have
go back to that.
No, I'm saying we should have candidates based around the times that America's in, not just oh, this person's red, this person's blue.
We're in an economic crisis. Who's the economist that's gonna come out and save America?
That's what you kind of need, versus oh, this person is a great person and he's been a senator for this amount of time. But does he qualify for what we're going through right now? That's what I feel like America needs to be looking for right now.
Yeah. Well, like I said, this is a popularity contest at the end of the day. Yeah. I'm just curious to see if DeSantis wins, who would he pick as his vice president? Would he pull Kemp, who's popular in Georgia? Because Georgia's this is how I think about it. Florida used to be a swing state. If DeSantis runs for president, most likely Florida's going to vote for him. Georgia, obviously, we just saw he blew out Stacey Abrams. So if you get Florida and Georgia, you bring Brian Kemp on as your vice president. Maybe they do. I don't know. Dr. Oz, you seen Dr. Oz got beat?
Dr. Oz got beat.
You know who Dr. Oz is, right? The doctor would be like on Oprah and all that type of shit like that.
Yeah. I'm very.
He was running for Senate in Pennsylvania.
I didn't know that. Okay.
He got beat by a guy, who just had a stroke. He did the debate, which, he just had a stroke. So it's not like say, oh, he's a fucking idiot. He can't talk. But he just had a stroke, tried to debate, didn't really work out that well. And then he still beat him.
Yeah, it's like
Herschel Walker is trying to.
And
Herschel
is that
Walker,
the real Herschel Walker?
That's the real Herschel Walker.
Research.
That's the real Herschel Walker running for Senate in Georgia. But he be fumbling and bumbling down the damn, saying wild shit. A million women coming. He say I'm against abortion, but there's a million women coming out saying he drove me to the abortion clinic in 1995. And then, she got that going on. I was like, God damn. But these are people Trump was supporting. Dr. Oz supported him. He got fried. Herschel Walker, they're going to a runoff. But I was listening to Ben Shapiro. He was talking about how he doesn't think going to a runoff for Herschel Walker isn't good because a lot of times Brian Kemp is very popular in Georgia, right? If you're very popular, a lot of people just go down ballot and they'll like kind of carry you up as a Senate person. But without Brian Kemp on the ballot, can Herschel Walker hold on his own? You know what I'm saying? So it's
like Kamala Harris, like she like Biden and they needed each other kind of like Kamala.
Well, no, I'm just talking about like as far as like because he's a senator, you're a governor. Governor's popular. People are obviously going to vote Republican for him. We'll just go down ballot, vote all the red people here. But if it's just you and you by yourself, we don't really give a fuck about you, Herschel. Got you. So we might not vote for you.
Gotcha. That's what you're saying. Perry said something.
Flying Low said, I'm glad Stacey Abrams took the L. Politicians are needed better than technocrats in elective offices because implementation of policies needs smart politicking, smart policies without political capital push them dies at birth.
Well, yeah, you said the popularity contest. I find that shit funny because it's like, let's say Kamala Harris is the next candidate, or like you said, Michelle Obama. What the fuck is their expertise besides just being a lifelong politician? Nothing. What is Joe Biden?
So do you think like more industry people should be running for office?
You got to be careful with that. But if we're gonna be real, America, a business is a corporation. And if that person's like, obviously not, like, let's be real. A lot of these fucking businesses and corporations are like treason and like treacherous by going overseas and shit. Like, you was originated here, whatever. Now you leaving, you affecting our economy. Like that shit really should be treason. So if they're going to be a businessman, they're going to be a capitalist. They still have to be American based, where it's like, we're gonna focus on capitalism, like, 'cause that's what America does. But it's not like we're going to be ultimately greedy and try to find the lowest amount of labor possible. So we're going to move overseas. It's like, no, we're going to do it right. We're going to do it fair, but we're going to focus on the economy. Like, I think that's what we need to a degree. Yeah. But
I think for the president,
it gets
got to be, oh my bad, you keep going.
It just, to answer your question, it gets sticky with the industry people though. 'Cause it's like, that person's like, so then now this person's a president. They might have already had a monopoly of a corporation. Now this person has financial interest. And that's what they were talking about with Trump and his towers and things like that. He got interest that could be affected. But then you can see Joe Biden. His son was literally in Ukraine, and they was funding them and doing all this other shit. So it's like, that's going to happen regardless at the end of the day, right? Like, I don't think you can kind of get away with it. Nancy Pelosi, she gets in these powerful positions. They get these powerful connections. They
start doing insider trading.
Yeah, it's just, that's going to come with it. I don't think you can escape that, man. With power, they're going to capitalize on that. But their interests still need to be focused on America, because I feel like these Nancy Pelosi's and Joe Biden's, they'll sell out to China in a heartbeat if the check good enough, and that's like dangerous. So now I think we do need industry people. It could be a greedy motherfucker like Trump, but is that shit gonna translate to the American economy eating, inflation going down? Because hey, if you got to hold other countries, I'm just being funny, but I mean we're already doing it, but. We're doing all of these, like, to be funny, bro. We're doing all this invading and all this different shit, and our economy's still fucked up. It's like, you got all the resources to hold people, get work for cheap, but yet motherfucking companies are still crashing. America's still fucking burning. Like, it's funny as hell when you think about it.
I think you just need like a good CEO, man, because like I feel like a lot of places, like a lot of businesses, a good CEO isn't necessarily good at everything. You got to be a good spokesperson for the company. You got to kind of make the tough decisions. And you got to be a good leader. I think that's what the president got to be. And then you pick the most competent people. You pick, when you do the Secretary of Energy, You got to get a person who's like, hey, motherfucker, you are like the energy guy. And you get the Secretary of Finance. You are the finance person. Education. You are, you know what I'm saying? Like you got all these people, these advisors, and then they report to you, and you disseminate the information or make whatever. That's I feel like it should be.
I agree with you, but I see the problem with that already. The same energy people get passed around. This or they come from the same schools, or they got to go through the same credentials to be earned. So it's like they be wrapped around the same form of thinking in a sense. Like you may be a new president, but you come in with the same type of advice that's being helping aiding fuck up the world to a degree. So it's like, are you going to think outside the box with these type of advisors? Are you going to go on that fucking Moneyball shit where this nigga went to the fucking cricket to be like, I gotta think I gotta reverse engineer some shit to really, you know, because we so far out the loop. It's like I feel like that's what a president gonna have to do, because you can like, bro, like, let's be real. Like we got the best education, we got the people that do the most research when it comes to I ain't gonna say best education, but when it comes to like economics and shit, like bro, we got the nerds. We got fucking TV shows with this shit on 24/7, bro. Like people only fucking live and breathe these politics and these things. So to act like we have all those different resources out there for the last like 50 years and we still going through depression after depression in all these different ways, unless they want this shit to happen, it kind of seems like, how do we have all this shit and we still falling? It would make sense that it's because it's the same, like you go through the same oligarchies. Like if you want to become one of these financial advisors for the presidents, you're probably going to have to go through a certain like school that most of these other people went through that think exactly like you. It's just how shit works, like in general. Like same with
you gotta be that person, but either Democratic or Republican.
Yeah.
Like CEO of Energy for Trump. CEO of Energy for Trump, not CEO.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Secretary of Energy for Trump was Rex Tillerson at first, who was the CEO of Exxon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Rex Tillerson, I believe, was like mostly a Republican his whole life, whatever, giving money to Republicans. If he was more Democratic, they wouldn't have, you know, maybe Joe Biden would have been like, oh, you're the CEO of Texaco. I'll bring you on.
Okay,
so you gotta make shit like that.
So they do be bringing people from like outside corporations that really wasn't in politics the whole time.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, if that's the case, then I take what I said back.
They'll just bring like, you're the senator from Wyoming. Come be my. They do that sometimes. Like Pete Buttigieg, which doesn't make sense. Like Pete Buttigieg was the mayor of like, I don't know if it was Notre Dame, somewhere in wherever Notre Dame's at. Just the mayor of that. He became the Secretary of Transportation. I don't know what the fuck he knows about transportation.
Yeah.
You would think that you'd be like the head of a railway or the head of a fucking airplane. You know, like transportation, motherfucker, not goddamn who was the mayor of a small town in a college town or some shit. Like, what the fuck you know about transportation?
See, but I trust Trump friends, and I'd rather him pick his friends than pick from the same pool of people that's been like not really being constructed to it. Because it's like, for instance, I guess my only point with the point I was making, because I take it back now, it'd be with military, because they're like that's one oligarchy that's not going to change. Like if you want a military advisor, you got to go through.
You got to get a general. You're going to get a general. You're not going to. The Secretary of Defense. The Secretary of Defense is most likely not going to be your homeboy who's just a billionaire. No, he's going to be a general that was, you know.
And when it comes to things like that in the military industry and making change to that, you're not gonna really get a real advisor, because they're gonna have military interests, because nigga, that's their thing. So that's what my thing is. But if you can like go around it as a president, I respect that. Like if it's, and then for real, like we being for real, if it's Trump friends, I ain't saying he's the smartest person, but I'm pretty sure he's around some pretty like wealthy and rich people that know what they talking about to a degree if they fucking working at Exxon and shit like that. Pretty sure Exxon ain't paying this dude billions and he don't know shit about gas. Like,
yeah, he don't have relationships with. Was he the CEO of Energy? Maybe I'm wrong. No, he was. No, my bad. He was the Secretary of State. He wasn't the energy person. The energy person was Rick Perry. He used to be the governor of Texas, which still something about oil. He had to, I guess, being the governor, he had to know something about oil and energy. He was Secretary of State. Rex Tillerson was Secretary of State, which, you know, that means you got to have a bunch of relations with foreign people. And you would assume, being the CEO of Texaco, you got relations with Russia, with, you know, Saudi Arabia, with, you know, maybe people in the Middle East, and, you know, I don't know.
What Flying Low say?
The same thing that keeps the music business of carousels worse with politicians is most incumbents win because people are sheep and vote on name and party more than policies.
Yeah, the name Democrat or Republican, red or blue.
And fear, just like, oh, they're gonna do this. They're gonna take away everything from you. You're never gonna get anything.
Bro, the commercials are crazy. They can upright lie in their commercials. This person supports abortions, and if a person gets raped, they cannot get abortion. If your child get raped, they cannot get abortion. Isn't this horrible?
No, I ain't gonna lie. There's a lot of niggas that do say that.
Bro, but
if you ask them niggas, if you ask them religious niggas, they'd be like, I don't have exception for rape and incest. Like,
no,
what?
No, yeah, but they're not fucking running for like.
No, there's senators. No, there's senators and niggas like that said that.
Okay.
No, there's niggas that said that.
Like the people in Texas. I'm talking about the people that was in Texas that did that.
I'm sure if you ask some niggas in Texas, they gonna say that.
They were saying Abbott was the person doing it, or Beto, one of them. It was one of them two that was saying they was doing that. But my thing, me saying it was like, you can directly look at the Texas law right now, and it says that they have exceptions to the rule. It's like when they made the law change, it's like you could. I guess I see where you're going with it though. It's like they gave the space for a new person to come in that can create even more change if they want to. I guess I see that.
But also they say that because they're scared of their base. They might not truly believe that, because if your daughter get raped by somebody, she get pregnant. Don't nobody want their daughter to have to keep their kid. I don't give a fuck how religious you are. Most people don't want their daughter to have to keep their kid. But that's how it goes.
Let's play any abortions at all flying low. That's stupid, bro. That's a dumb hill to die on, bro. Like we were saying earlier, that's an absolute dumb hill to die on.
My candidate said we're not doing any abortions. He didn't win.
That's a dumbass ledge.
Especially when even when the Supreme Court overturned Roe versus Wade, the polling, and like I said, polls or whatever, they polled 1,000 people and they just predict that's most America. Most people didn't even want that really to be banned. So it's like, that's not a winning. That's like we said about the broadness, the overarching amount of people you're trying to garner. Most people don't feel that way.
Yeah.
So it's like to hang your hat on that one, unless you're like if you're running for a House seat and you're in a small ass district where everybody's kind of cool with that shit, that you could fly there. Like, I don't know where Flying Low lives. I don't know what district he was going or whatever. If you're going for a state office or Senate, House, whatever, probably ain't the best.
Nobody, no strategy. Republican, no Democrat, no red man, no black man want to think about their child or anybody in their family possibly getting raped and they can't get an abortion, bro. Like, no sane person. Like, there's only so far you can push that abortion conversation. Like, yeah, like a woman that had legal sex or willing sex and she's trying to get an abortion 7 months in, yeah, they may need to have some requirements behind it. But
I would want to talk to you about this. Did you see that slavery was on the ballot in some states?
Yeah, I seen that dumbass shit.
So Vermont proposal to election results prohibit slavery in the state constitution. 89% of people voted yes. 10% of people voted no. Tennessee removed constitutional language allowing slavery as a punishment. 79% of people said yes. 316,000 people said no. Same thing in Oregon. Oregon, it was closer. Oregon, it was 54% to 45%. And then the only place that it lost was Louisiana. 768,000 people voted no. 490,000 voted yes. So
do you think them people actually know what they voting for, or they just clicking shit?
It's either this is two things. Because I've voted before, right? So I've looked at what the thing looks like. Some of those things just say like Article 3, da-da-da-da. Like, unless this thing, maybe it didn't say like take slavery out as a punishment. Maybe it said like Article 735. You know what I'm saying? Some shit like that. Maybe they didn't know. But if it said take slavery out of the Constitution as a punishment, yes or no?
Because it's like,
bro, y'all go ahead. No.
The only reason I asked that because like how many people voted for it. I mean, I guess you gotta vote, or you can just hit no vote, right? But
I think no vote. I think so.
I just feel like for so many people to vote on it, I feel like you would have to have like a conversation. Like you'd have heard politicians talking about it.
I don't know. Maybe in them states that was talking about it. I don't know.
I feel like that would have got out. Like if we was talking, like if a politician was talking about that, like I feel like it got out. But I was about to say that's Magic Joe. You believe in Magic Joe? Because I'll being funny because they were talking about the blood moon. It was like different shit be changing. But supposedly the reason that this is a thing, because like obviously when you look in America, you don't see any slavery. There is supposedly getting to really like the free labor in prisons, which I feel like that's a big deal. I feel like that's a big thing that could cause a lot of change as far as like companies don't have that free labor. Literally, there was companies, whether they was buying it directly or buying it through people, bro, they was paying for prisons to get that shit built there for cheap labor because the Uyghurs didn't have enough. The Chinese didn't have enough Uyghurs at the time. Yeah. So that's how they kind of move. So I feel like with them kind of being, I feel like that's what that was about. I'm not 100% sure. I didn't do my research, but if that's what that is, I feel like that's a good move because you got to think as an American people, like them business got to come back to us now. Those jobs got to come back to us. They just can't take advantage of these people. So it's fair for them.
They shipping them hoes to Mexico.
Possibly for sure. Possibly for sure. But some people can't afford to like fucking move their whole fucking production. Maybe. Who knows? I don't know. Possibly. But all I know is good for the prisoners if that's the case, and it would be good for Americans, like the average Americans.
I got two more things about politics and election. I do want to read this. So someone broke down Stacey Abrams' vote, right? Remember how she said, I think black men are getting hit with misinformation and this and that and all that type of shit, right? Kind of trying to blame
black men. You stupid boy. Stay in your place and get in line.
So she won 93% of black women, 84% of black men. I can't hear you.
I was talking to Karen.
84% of black men. And she lost 76% of white men, 72% of white women, 44% of Latino men, and 43% of Latino women, and 47% of everyone else. But it's black men's fault that she lost. Make that make sense.
And they're gonna see them statistics and still feel that way.
There's not 500,000 more black people in Georgia that could have voted. Black men, not black people, just black men that could have voted for Stacey Abrams to put her over the top.
They don't care. They don't like niggers. They don't like male niggers. That's Jesus all that's Christ. About, man. I'm sorry, bro. But that's how I be feeling when I get on fucking social media, bro. It's like, you dumb. You're black man. You can't think for yourself. You're full of misinformation. You just I seen this
girl say, one girl, she said, when we talk about community, why do black men think they should be like at the top? It's like, isn't that how most men are usually like you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand that logic. Most men are the
niggas that's gonna go die behind it and protect it.
They're mostly the front line of community. They're mostly the protectors of the communities, the voice of the communities. Like, what are you saying? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
They say just get behind black women because you can't think for yourself.
When people on Twitter say that, it feels like you just said, y'all can't make decisions. It's kind of like a white person, like a white liberal pandering to black people, like, y'all can't do this by yourself. Like, just listen to us and we'll guide the way and we'll make sure everything's good. Because y'all motherfuckers, obviously, y'all can't get shit right. Y'all are bad. Let us figure this out and we'll do what we gotta do and we'll help y'all out.
And I think it's mad annoying because it's clear hate and it's clear dysfunction, but it's allowed and it's accepted because I mean, shit, we know how the media go. The media don't ban them for saying dumb shit like what the shit they be saying. Like, they be saying some dangerous shit online all the time about us, bro. And that shit do not fly. There's no mass like fucking trends of saying like women hate black men and shit like that. But any second you say something criticizing them, you're a fucking feminist, or I mean, you're misogynist and all this different shit. And people group up and believe that shit, bro. But these people can get that shit off. It's just disgusting, bro. Yeah, I'm tired of it.
And also the last thing
man.
I think this is another reason that's not working. The way they try to round up black people vote every year. I'm gonna just play this audio for you guys, which is essentially a black women. They're gonna do their thing, but y'all guys, y'all not doing y'all thing. So let's just take a listen to this.
Nasty, bro.
Let's take a listen to this commercial. These are the same people. Black is the same people I believe that did the vax that ass up with a juvenile. But let's take a listen to this.
You ain't black if you ain't voting for Joe Biden. It's all the same shit, bro.
Let's go. This is a campaign ad by Black. They got Sauce Santana. They got Trina. This because this essentially is no fucking no whatever. Essentially, hey, black men. This is like black men. Y'all need to go vote.
Yeah. Trey Tracks, I think we got one. It's voting season, bro.
Now voting, no nothing.
I did that.
Now voting, no nothing. Now voting, no fucking, no voting, no fucking. Now voting, no loving.
Yeah.
Now voting, no touch.
Let's go.
No nothing. No voting, no fucking, no voting, no fucking. BLK app looking for some action. Wonder how to stop what's happening. Faces a 9, abs a 10. 10. D is a to be determined. He got
This
mad
is
joke. He don't
political.
see bro. The only
This is
red flag
political.
that he don't
He don't
vote.
vote.
This turn start a single cue. Wanna hit this booty, gotta do your civic duty.
Woo! Wanna get his booty, gotta do that civic duty.
No touch, no voting, no nothing. No
Y'all better go vote.
no voting, no voting, no voting, no
Let's see what Trini got to say.
no voting, no
Yeah,
voting.
don't stop now. Stop a ballot box again, but my homegirl through. Put the bipartisan. Politics be so nasty. Make me wanna flirt ya. Show you how to be a poll worker. Legs in the air, I don't care. Anyone can get it. Universal health care. If you wanna come before the deadline. Come in the jacuzzi, gerrymander this coochie.
No voting, no love, no
That shit was even worse than Sauce Santana
Jesus
shit.
Christ. That is
How you
crazy.
get watched by Sauce Santana?
Yeah, he did watch. I ain't gonna lie, that shit was more kitschy.
We
nigga made
just
me
talking
wanna-
about music.
That nigga made me want to go vote. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, that's crazy. But no, that's the same. Ba da ba ba ba. Come get your chicken and hang. You know, come do your thing. Like
No,
they
what
just
was
start
that? What was
talking
that? What was
real-
that? What was that Vex commercial where the dude was like at his truck and they was like, it was something about being a drug dealer or something. I forgot what the fuck it was.
Oh,
he was
I
like,
remember.
y'all know we gotta be out. I forgot what it
He
was.
was like,
Something
I
like
gotta
getting them.
sell. Basically, it was like, I can't sell my drugs because I gotta sell my drugs hand in hand. And
Yeah,
with
some
the risk
shit
of
like
COVID
that.
out here, it really threatened my business. So we got to be pro-vaccine so I can be out here drugging.
That-
That's
that-
essentially what the commercial was. I know exactly what you're talking about. He had the foes and everything. He had like the chopper, the motherfucker, what you call them shits? Damn, I can't even think. A slab.
Dracos,
He had
whatever. Slab.
he had a
Yeah,
slab.
yeah.
I couldn't even think of the shit.
That shit crazy. That just shows you what they think about like black people. That's what I'm saying. That's what they think. Like I was talking to Carla about that. I was talking to Carla about that. I was like, we was in Hawaii, right? And I was listening to like they had a hip hop station out there. And I'm listening to did y'all just go live? Boy, we've been live for an hour and 50 minutes. I was listening to their commercials on the hip hop station, right? And they was just like, hey guys, do this, do that. But like when we in the States, that same type of hip hop commercials, like, girl, you can't believe what just happened to me. I just got here. Like, it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, even I want y'all to do this as a study. Listen to a hip hop station, listen to a commercial. Then go to the pop station and listen to that same business do their commercial on the pop stage. Just listen to how they think about black. Just listen to those two subtle, the differences they have when they do those
Bro, like,
commercials.
I just got hit by .com. Don't be doing that same shit on like
104.1 or shit like that. They'd probably be like, hey, if you got hit in the wreck, man, just hit us up. We can get you right. I just got hit.com. Come hit us up.
Oh yeah, I have heard that.
That's like, you know, that's like the same thing with this shit. It's like they think black people gonna be like, okay, yeah, I want to get some. I'm gonna go vote, like, or that's like appealing or something. Like I just
Like
don't.
all rap people are ghetto.
I just don't get. I just don't.
Everybody that listens to rap is ghetto.
And that is why they're gonna continue to be in a position that they're continuing to lose voters. Whether you say it's mostly black men or not, maybe black men, y'all want to say, you know, they're dumb misinformation. Maybe they're just ahead of the curve right now.
Yeah, I mean that's how Democrats felt for the longest. Look at me in the picture with your favorite rapper. Look at me with Jay-Z and Beyonce. We really got these niggas in the chokehold. Look at us. Look at me with your favorite niggas. Like they used to be posted, bro. Like and now they try to do the same shit. Do an interview with Cardi. It ain't hitting like it used to hit back in the day when you used to take these photo ops with these celebrities we love. So they was ahead of the curve for a minute with black people. That shit seemed like the Republicans got it now.
Like
So
I see in LA, they're doing the mayor. We keep talking about the politics shit, but they're doing the mayor's race in LA, right? It's Karen Bass versus a guy named Rick Caruso. And they're both Democrats. Like Rick Caruso was a longtime Republican, and he switched to Democrat to do the LA shit. Maybe he did it, you know, because he wanted to win LA, and you know, LA is obviously more democratic. Maybe that's why he did it. But there's celebrities that are supporting him, right? Like the Kardashians, Gwyneth Paltrow, Katy Perry took a picture like, "Hey, I'm voting for Rick Caruso, not Karen Bass, who's a black woman." And Snoop Dogg said, "I'm voting for Rick Caruso." It's like, and they were getting killed on the internet for it. But like,
they were getting killed on the internet for supporting them.
yeah, because like he's not really a Democrat, he's a Republican, whatever. But my thing is, maybe people see Karen Bass as just another long-time politician that they just don't want to deal with it. It's just the same. Okay, another lifetime politician here. Our crime in LA may still go up. Our homelessness problem's not going to get relinquished. It's going to be the same old same shit. Rick Caruso was saying, I'm going to fix crime. I'm going to fix homelessness. Y'all ain't going to have niggas outside the house. Like, there was literally, I seen videos of people literally walking outside their homes and homeless. You know, remember how we went to LA? And it was those businesses, and they be like in them little stoop thingies. They moved from them streets to people's homes, to neighborhoods, with needles hanging out their arms. Like, you think I want that shit in my house? Clean that, yes, clean. Whoever gonna come in, y'all better clean that shit up. I'm sorry, I have empathy for homeless people. I have empathy for drug addicts, but I don't want that shit in front of my house. My kids can't come outside and play.
It's bad, bro. They be finding a lot of money and shit. That's like a whole thriving community of drugs and shit. It ain't just like some hopeless homeless people. Like, these motherfuckers are like on some shit. I ain't gonna lie to you. They found like a $200,000 or something like that, along with a lot of pills in California, like just in a tent. Like, that shit is wild when you think about that. Like, that shit got out of hand, bro. But guess what? You know what I know the Democrats gonna do? Because I was saying, like, I feel like the next person that's gonna try to jump ahead of the curve is just they're gonna try to get your favorite celebrity. Fuck taking a picture with them. Your favorite celebrity is the president now. Yeah. And I feel like that's only gonna come from the Democrats. I think
obviously. Trump is a big Trump's but the thing is, they
really are ahead of the curve.
But the thing is, to be honest, they didn't even want Trump. Trump was just so much of a phenomenon. You had to kind of get on that train because he was going to be the person that won y'all's party. They wanted Ted Cruz. They wanted the traditional Republican that went through the route. He's a lawyer. He was a senator. He was a clerk for a Supreme Court justice. All that good shit like that. But Trump was just too magnetic, too funny, too charismatic. People loved him. They couldn't really do anything about it.
I don't have any like backing on it. I just feel like they didn't want to hedge their bets, so they like stayed safe, even though they supported Trump maybe in the back or whatever. But I feel like they really wanted Trump in there.
Because when they first came, it was a bunch of never Trumpers and all that type of shit. They was not fucking with Trump. They was laughing at him.
No, I get it.
Until he started winning.
I know that's a thing. But I'm talking about like the media that's red and stuff like that. I feel like they secretly enjoy Trump, because even then, when he was supposed to get watched by Biden, he still almost won. Like, that's the thing. Like, even when they was talking about Hillary going fucking land sweep him, and then she's fucking shocked on the night of it, because the support for Trump was supposedly always being like shitted on to a degree, but it really wasn't. It really wasn't, because that just don't happen. It just don't happen.
Well, see, I'm not talking about the people. I'm talking about the establishment didn't want Trump. The Republican establishment,
it was probably
the most powerful people. They were kind of outspoken against him. Like I said, once he starts winning Super Tuesdays and this and that and primary races to get to the general, and then it's like, okay, we're at the Republican National Convention now. He's our person. You can't really do shit. You got to support him.
Regardless, I think they was ahead of the curve. I'm gonna give it to him because it's not even just.
I wouldn't give it to him because it wasn't deliberate.
No. I'm talking about outside of just that too. Like that, like even if that was unintentional, that put them ahead of the curve. Along with like you seeing them kind of being like more realistic when it comes to the policies and things that they're moving. That's all I'm saying. Like,
I think Democrats, when they do it, it's gonna be blatant. Like the DNC, let's say The Rock, right? You're gonna see that they are promoting The Rock. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's gonna come in like our guy or Oprah, or whoever they decide that they want to be the person. You're gonna see the money come behind them. But we can get off this politics shit. What else we got? We got anything else? 21 Savage?
What was up with 21? Oh, the versus
shit. My phone died. Let me see. Yeah, I think we just got 21 shit. So we were thinking about Trail. Shut up! Did y'all record? We live right now, Trail. I said that 5 fucking times.
He must be behind.
Oh. Anyways, 21 Savage said that he could wash any of his 2016 XXL freshman class in a versus. It just kind of piqued my interest. I was like, maybe we bring the verses back to do a little, 2016 XXL just to see what we could do. But I was thinking, I don't think they have enough records. They don't got enough for 20 records. They got 20 records, but it's like it's gonna be shit everybody knows. What do you think about that? Because first people that I thought about was Uzi and Kodak. as far as competing with him. Uzi got a lot of big records. Uzi got a lot of fan favorite hits. I don't know if 21. I don't know. Like 21's real popular right now. We talking about like big hit records. Like he got bank account. He got a lot. But I just don't know if he beats those guys in a versus.
You said
Now I think he makes better albums.
You said Uzi and who else?
Kodak.
You don't think he can be Kodak?
He probably be Kodak. I don't think. Let me see. Let me go Spotify real quick.
I just don't. I don't know Kodak names of his shit. I see like 3 songs that stand out, but besides that, I don't really know the names of shit. Ain't gonna lie.
I saw Ebro say he can't beat. He said he can't beat Uzi. No, he said he can't beat Kodak. And he said he also can't beat Anderson .Paak, which is interesting. Anderson .Paak, talking about hits. He got shit with Bruno. He do got some solo things, but I don't think he got enough to beat a 21
Yeah, because I'm thinking
Savage.
about 21 Savage features. I'm thinking about 21 Savage. The
Yeah,
singles that he had.
everything that come with it.
He had enough for at least 12 to 15. I feel like good records.
Like Kodak got like Super Gremlin, obviously.
Damn, Ty, you made
That's
this.
new. That's Walk is new, but I like it. He got Drowning, A Boogie, No Flocking, obviously. He got ZZ, which is great. This is off his This is Kodak playlist. Rolling Peace, Tunnel Vision. But I'm just going off things that I know by name. There might be some I'm missing, but I'm just going off what I know by name.
That was a
I
good
like Hey, you did that. I like that song. Skrr. That'd be interesting.
Feeling that today gonna be a fantastic day.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. That's what I think.
So I basically could pick because I know you're picking 21.
Let me know in the chat. Should we do that, chat? Should we mix it up though? Should it just be 21 versus, or should we just do like a 2016 thing, like a draft? I mean, so maybe you get 21 and Yachty and Anderson .Paak and G Herbo, and I get Kodak, Uzi, Dave East, and Lil Dicky. Or 20 Designer, he gotta chill out. Designer's like, I'm 22. But Designer got 1 record. You gotta relax. Designer has 1 record. And that's
he got Panda. And
he got 1 record. And maybe Turner.
Ain't doing the same songs.
Yeah.
Ain't that like the hook of this Panda? Oh no, it's that one. I'm tripping.
Let me know in the chat. Should we bring back the verses, man? And just do this just for fun. It's like, I think that's how we should do verses. We just see people say something. Like, oh, that'd be fun. Let's just see. Let's just do it. Who's gonna get that new I Just Wanna Rock? Boy, should have hit now. Uzi got more than Uzi got more than EXO Tour Life. Uzi got Money Longer. Like, come on. He got The Way Life Goes. That's a hit. EXO Tour Life, obviously, that's major hit. He got more than that. He got more than that. Yachty. He got Poland.
Yeah,
he got One Night.
Hard to go heads up, unless it's like, yeah, it'd be kind of hard to go heads up for more than 10 with one individual. So
like we just did Kodak and whatever.
Yeah. I would like the double XL thing. But you want to do the draft, or you just want to like free ball it?
Oh, just any song.
Yeah, and we just, if it get taken,
They said 21 versus Kodak. It ain't gonna be
only been 10 songs.
It's only gonna be 10 records.
Because out of what you just played, you played a good 7 to 8, but I don't think it's more out of that from Kodak. And Uzi, you played about 3 or 4, but I feel like 2 of them was like
We
stupid.
be throwing money in a spiral. Every time you girl hear my song, yeah, turn her right. There's no reason but a cry.
Same with
Lil Uzi, it just depends. Like, are you a fan or not? Because Lil Uzi, like, that's the overall just big hit. But some of his shit is good, but like his fans only be knowing it.
Yeah.
But like 21 is like, if you heard that hit, you probably everybody.
Oh, I got the Drake records I can play with 21. What's good? Yachty has more hits than 21. I don't think so.
Oh, see, but then we'll probably play, because it could be a chance that somebody play 21 versus 21 if we did just free balling.
Yeah.
So that shit, like, I get it. Let me look at this. Let's look at the double XL.
It's Lil Dicky, Designer, G Herbo, Dave East, Denzel Curry, Yachty, Kodak, Uzi, 21. I don't think I'm missing nobody.
Why my internet tripping when I try to click?
He said, "What idiot in the chat just said Yachty got more hits than 21?" Don't disrespect. I want to fucking be named. Don't disrespect equal praise, man. I can send the Uzi plays to even Bryce might know. Like 21 got like, yeah, I do. Actually, I do. I'll be 21. I'll be 21. I don't know if niggas like some of the 21 songs though.
I don't feel like that's fair for me.
Cause I play like Rockstar, but like I don't know niggas. I don't like Post Malone. You know, like crying or some shit. Like I don't fucking know.
For the world on your car.
I ain't gonna lie, we gotta do the draft.
You want to do a draft?
Yeah.
We do spin the wheel like we did last time.
Yeah, we gotta do the draft.
So what y'all think? Should we just do 2016 as a draft, like kind of like the playlist type shit?
Cause you got Dave East in there too.
It's like they don't have no, like some of these niggas don't really have no hits. Like you know what I'm saying?
Dave East got like at least one.
But like a hit, like we talk about Kodak, Uzi, and 21. He don't got nothing like that.
It may be some shit that everybody be like, I remember that. I like that.
I do not want Davies. I do not want like Designer got the Panda, but like bro, I do not want none of niggas.
Yeah, if anybody get three of the like main dudes, we doing it over.
Like I'll take Anderson .Paak. I think I can pull some like some. He might have some joints, but do he got
okay?
hit?
So look. We got to make one rule. Can one of the two cannot be on the team? Like okay, so it'd be a leader. We get the so you can have 21 as the leader.
You take Kodak.
I take Kodak, and then everybody else be a draft.
It just feels like whoever gets Uzi is at a bigger advantage. Like is Yachty, he got some songs, but Yachty ain't crazy.
It depends.
If you got 21 and I got Anderson .Paak, I might feel a little. Think I could play some of that Bruno Mars type shit. But like I said, the chat be on that bullshit, so you never really.
It's gonna be a hard one regardless. But I feel like you can get two from Yachty. You can get the two. You can probably pull off the two from Designer. G Herbo, I'm sure he got like 2 or 3. And then I feel like you can. It depends. Like you can get at least 2 or 3 out of each one of these.
G Herbo got that Chirac song, right? That blew him up in the beginning when he was just called Herb.
I can't remember. I think so. Only one I really don't know is fucking. Can we just take out 2 of the dudes? Denzel Curry and Dicky.
People like Denzel Curry. I mean, I don't think he got any like
okay, let me count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, it's even. Okay, I guess little Dicky even. He's like the clear.
He got some songs like the shit with Chris Brown, but
I feel like he's the clear like one that doesn't have any hits on this. Like even Designer has more hits than Lil Dicky. Like
I don't think he got more hits.
You think Lil Dicky got hits?
He got big records that maybe I don't know.
Freaky Friday, Dicky got hits. Okay, my bad. Let's run it. Dicky got hits. I go listen. Look, one thing about the verses, I will go listen to the artist because I'm not trying to lose. So I'm gonna try to go find the hits. Let me know some shit.
Can find another me.
That's not gonna work.
Said burp like a baby without no hiccup.
He's had a couple like little viral videos and shit.
Additionally speaking, this shit works.
Like I got at least heard that hoe.
We love the earth.
Jesus Christ.
Nah, we gotta Can we just pick a rapper from 2016 and replace him? That they didn't pick?
Does anybody from 2016?
Yeah. So it make it a little Uzi shit even. You know what I mean? Shit. Damn, I need another fucking. I gotta buy another keyboard. My shit. I spilled water on it. Who you got? Who you see anybody?
I'm looking. I'm looking at who's missing from the XXL freshman list. Every time who's missing? Who they say missing? They say no Playboy Cardi. People saying where's Playboy Cardi? I see a lot of tweets about Playboy Cardi. Yeah, Cardi seems to be the overwhelming person. I see Cardi. I see Post Malone. I think it's just Cardi, really. I think Cardi had a couple of hits that could, but like I think one of Cardi's hits got Uzi on it. So it's like, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's Playboy Cardi would be the overwhelming person who everybody's saying is missing from that list.
That's what the chat saying?
No, I'm looking at like who should have been on, and I'm looking at tweets. And it's all like Playboy Cardi, where's Playboy Cardi? Where's Playboy Cardi? Where's Playboy Cardi? That's how it looks.
Yeah, and it's hard to find like rappers that actually came out in 2016. Like just like Googling it. I can't really find anything outside of them. Oh, 10 rappers that watched for in 2016. Let me see what this article says. Montana 300, Mozzie, P&L. Yeah, that Playboy Cardi, the only one that's popping up on that one.
So you would take out Playboy, you take out Lil Dicky for Playboy Cardi?
I
say take out, I don't know, Dave East don't got like, at least Lil Dicky got like a hit record. Like I could play like, I don't know, I'm not saying Freaky Friday would beat Panda, but at least I could play that. Even Drum, he's got like Cha Cha. Like, I don't know. He got a couple. He got a song with SZA that's real good.
I don't remember. Dave East run was like so little ago, and so like I'm sure he got something. He got to have a feature or something. I feel like I don't know. I'm not taking Lil Dicky. Look, we can figure. Look, whoever get Lil Dicky or like if I get Lil Dicky, the replacement is Playboy Cardi.
Think about it like this. Niggas say because Lil Dicky's white, whatever. When you look up Lil Dicky on Spotify, his highest songs have 200 million plays, 700 million plays, 500 million plays, 300 million plays. When you look up Dave East, his biggest song has 29 million plays, which is this.
We was dealing soap. I'm just being modest. I could get it.
Now Dave East can rap, make good music, but we talking about hits for verses.
Play the biggest song from Dicky. I know.
Freaky Friday.
I haven't played it.
Well, him and Chris Brown, you heard Freaky Friday.
That one fucking song. That's what we going for.
All you got with designer is Panda.
You got at least Timmy Turner. Fuck.
Hey, I'm a blood, but I can
Watch his mama. We can just take both of them out. Just take both of them out. Take Davies and what's the name of?
Lil Dicky and put who and who? Playboy Cardi and what?
I was just gonna leave it like that.
Playboy Cardi and Post Malone?
I was just gonna leave it out like that. Take them two out because it'd be even.
Oh, just take them two out. Okay,
yeah, because it'd be 8 then. It'd be 4 and 4.
Okay, so we got G Herbo, Yachty, Denzel Curry. I don't think Denzel Curry ever got any hits either, but you know, he probably got some records people like.
We can replace him with what's the name?
Oh, Post Malone?
No. You want to put Post Malone in?
Y'all ain't fucking with Posty, man.
So I was gonna say put what's the name in there? The other dude you mentioned.
Playboy Cardi?
Yeah, instead of Denzel Curry.
I put him in there.
So take out.
I got G Herbo, Uzi, Anderson .Paak, Playboy Cardi, Yachty, and Denzel Curry. That's 6. Not Trail. Flying Low. You gotta tone down your racism. Post Malone clearly has a better career and more hit records than Davies. I don't care if he's black or white. We can all establish that. That's just there. Now, he's not a better. I don't know if he's a better rapper or whatever. But music, hits. Like, come on.
We don't gotta stay up all night talking about it. Let's run it.
Let me
It ain't
see.
that serious. I'm sure it's gonna shake out.
How do I do? I forgot to do the damn.
We get 2 chances if the first one look horrible. Well, I mean, if they both look horrible, we're gonna make it look somewhat even, I guess. I don't think nobody want to go into it feeling lopsided.
All right, first up is Bryce.
Wait, hold on. You got 6? I thought it was 8.
With Kodak and Uzi already. I mean,
oh, got you. Let's get
all right, here we go. This for Bryce. Yachty.
That's a strong one. I take it, Yachty.
Ah! All right, I'll tell you. I got no
We'll
choice.
keep him.
If you get Uzi too, like god damn. All right, come on. Oh my god, what the fuck am I doing with that, bro? What the fuck am I doing with this guy, bro? Hell no.
You got 21.
That's one person. I guess.
We can run it back.
Please give him Denzel Curry.
So you automatically get Anderson Paak. You automatically get Anderson Paak.
Damn, let's get fucking.
You automatically get him.
Oh.
Yeah. You automatically. Wait. Oh, is it Uzi and Anderson Paak left?
No. You got Uzi. You got Yachty,
Uzi.
Kodak. Fucking.
You got 21 in the game.
I got 21 in the
Wait, you
fucking
ain't got
cup.
designer in there.
Oh, we did forget about designer. So we got to redo the whole thing.
Yeah, that's fine.
But designer would make it lopsided, so we have to add one more person.
Denzel Curry.
He's in there already.
Playboy Cardi. Who you missing?
I took out Dickey and I took out Dave East.
Should have been even still. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It still should have been even.
How many people on that?
Because you put what's the name in?
Playboy Cardi in.
Okay, that's what made it uneven. So put it in post.
How about this? I give you Uzi, you give me posts.
No. We're not doing that. Yeah,
my
really.
Team, when you think about when you do like a redraft of 2016, this probably should have been who was on the list. Like this list that we got are people who should have been.
You should have replaced the white boy.
You should have replaced Dickey with what's his name?
Different white boy.
And you should have replaced Davies with Playboy Cardi.
Oh, I thought you were about to say.
All right, so it's a redo. We redoing it, starting over. This is gonna be
too crazy.
This is the final. Whatever you get is what you get. You don't throw a fit. Fuck it. You get trash team. You get trash team. Figure it the fuck out. Better game plan.
If it's crazy, hell nah.
And like you get Post Malone, Lil Uzi, Yachty, and some pack. It's like, all right, bro. All right. Here we go. So I'll let you go. You go first again.
Let's hit it.
Team captains are Kodak at 21. I thought you about to get. All right, you got G Herbo. Good job. I was about to get Post. I said, hell no, I need that one. All right, come on, Post.
Please get this nigga.
Anderson Paak. All right, I'll take that. I'll take that.
Come on, Uzi. I guess the top one right now.
Come on, give him Playboy card. Give G Herbo again. Let's go, G Herbo.
No. Run that back.
All right, respin. Come on, give somebody trash. Give me. You can get Yachty. Give me Yachty. All right, bitch.
Fuck.
Bro, y'all. Uzi or Post?
Hell nah. Nigga T crazy. Hell nah.
Uzi or Post?
He about to literally get the 3 that we said.
All right, your turn. Fuck Playboy Cardi, Denzel Curry. Playboy Cardi, Denzel Curry. Playboy. Anderson Paak. Playboy Cardi, Denzel Curry. Playboy Cardi, Denzel Curry. Playboy Cardi, Denzel Curry. God damn, come on, man.
Who could I get that's even good?
Post Malone. No. Fucking bitch. I wanted to get fucking Post goddamn Malone, motherfucker.
I feel a little better. I got
all right. So left is Playboy Cardi and Denzel Curry. All right, give me Playboy Cardi.
I need that Cardi. I don't even know his music. I need that Cardi.
I know he got more hits than Denzel Curry. That's all I know. That's all I know.
Oh, what about designer? Did you ever put designer in there?
I thought we were saying fuck designer.
No, I never said that.
But it'll make it uneven. Right?
We're adding post. If you only added post, it'd be uneven. This nigga here.
Okay, whatever. I spelled his name wrong, but shit. I don't want designer. Shit. Playboy Cardi.
No, you gotta start all the way over.
Nah. Chill out.
You gotta start all the way over. You gotta start all the way over.
No, hell no.
It was uneven.
Oh, my hell.
Chat, come on, chat. You won't post.
I got Playboy, Uzi, Anderson 21. You got Post, G Herbo, Yachty, and maybe designer. or maybe Denzel Curry. I think that's pretty even teams. I think so. What y'all? Let us know, chat. That's how even. Post Malone got a lot of hits. Now, like I said, how the chat react to Post, I don't know.
Okay, all right, keep rolling. The first person that responded, we go with that. He said, "I gotta take it. I gotta hold this team." All right, come on, let's keep going.
So who's left? Denzel and Designer.
I'm up next. I'm up right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get it.
And I got Denzel. Okay, that's what it is. So I am 21, Uzi, Playboy. 21 Uzi, Playboy.
I will never remember this this group of names ever.
21 Uzi, Playboy, Pack, and
damn cats.
Curry. You have Kodak, Yachty, Post, Designer, and G Herbo. I put in the chat. I don't know why, but it's in the chat too. All right.
I want to see yours.
All right. I think 21 Uzi, Playboy. I think with those, Anderson .Paak got them singing songs with Bruno. I think I could maybe combat Post Malone a little bit. I think the chat may have like a little disdain for Posty. Y'all know how I feel about Posty. I think he had one of the best albums of the year, but I digress. Denzel Curry is my only like Denzel, but you got G Herbo. G Herbo got a couple songs though, but we'll see.
Yeah, I'm as far as like, I think I can get at least 6 to 8 out of Kodak. I probably can get 6 to 8 out of probably Post. So that
maybe
put me
2 or
around,
3 out of Yachty.
Yeah, they give me around 12 to 16 to work with design. Like you said 2 or 3, so that'll put me around. Let's say I had 12. That put me at 15. I got 2 from designer, and then I had to make some work with either Herbo or whoever else I had left. Is there a requirement 2 per song, 3 per song?
I don't want to do that because I don't think so. I think they got to at least be played once.
Twice.
Because you can't, because designer, he don't got 2.
I said just 2. You gotta play him at least twice.
All right, I gotta find.
Twice.
I might get Curry out the way in the beginning.
Yeah, you got at least twice, because 3 times is excessive with some of these niggas.
All right, so you here right now, still on the live. Salute to you. You heard it here first. We're back again. I always said the verses were done, but we back again just because it piqued our interest. That's interesting. I don't know when we're gonna do it though, because Saturday is the UFC fights.
I seen the lineup. I had to look at the name. I had to look at the faces because you told me the names. I ain't know it was the old arch nemesis. I ain't know that was up next. I ain't know it was the only nigga that knocked them out before. I ain't know that was up fast like that. I remember they was talking about it a few months ago. That whole up next. That's what UFC get them popping. Like, what were we waiting on?
They put the fights on, and we gotta wait for you to be fighting for 15 years here. Let's go. Put y'all up next.
Because the thing is, he can get knocked out. He can lose his steam at any moment. So let's use it while he.
He said, "Congratulations, G Frey, you won already." I don't know. Kodak got some. I don't know, man. We'll see though. Maybe we do it Saturday. Fuck the UFC. Maybe we just have it on the side, just watch it while we're doing the verse. I don't know. We'll see.
Maybe we getting back to the game and shit soon.
Yeah, we can.
I'm gonna have to get an Xbox because you said you want to play baseball and UFC, and I want to play some of that too. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah. Salute to the Astros. We won. We done, man. We out. 2 hours in. Salute to y'all for being here.
I said that should have been a good thing.
Yes, 21 Savage is a top rapper out right now. We already spoke on that, man. Come on now. You already know.
Top rapper right now,
like out of people who've been dropping. I'll put him up there. I think everybody who dropped this year, Dirks, Future, Kendrick, 21, Drake.
He up there. He might be top 10, but he up there. But yeah, because I mean, who else would you put above him? Like,
Lil Baby drop.
You got Lil Baby, and it's arguable with Lil Baby right now.
Yeah.
Lil Durk, it might be arguable because I mean, Lil Durk led.
I ain't gonna lie, I do get off work early tomorrow. We could technically do that whole tomorrow.
Tomorrow, what time you get off?
I mean, we still do it at the same time like we usually do, but I'm just saying I get off at 7. So,
Oh, I see. All right, yeah. I try. Yeah, I'm gonna do my shit early tomorrow anyway. So yeah, we should be good.
all right. So hey, maybe we'll lock it in tomorrow. Y'all be ready to be prepared.
Shout
You
out
see it?
Flying Low. I see I see the confidence.
Yeah, it's because you're an FBA. I'm doing my ancestry.com, man. I'm about to see if I'm an FBA.
I don't know what that means.
Well, Ancestry Foundation of Black American. I was looking. You on ancestry.com, which is interesting. They like get your DNA right, and they do all this. Find your family tree, link you to a bunch of people who've done it. On my sisters is like you can go back to the 1700s. See, like you can like go like 1700, 1750, like go up in your family tree. Like her people in 1700s had like ported in North Carolina, so like that's like a major slave port. You know what I'm saying? And then you can see when the white side of my family came in, it'll be like over there in Italy, in Germany. And then like her black side moved down to like Louisiana and somewhere else down south. It was interesting how they got it all set up.
I use the ancestry tree if I'm not mistaken, and you kind of gotta have the names of like your recent ancestors.
Yeah,
and
then it traces back to their people.
Yeah, and they have like the census or whatever, and that kind of help you because you gotta do a little more research. But I went back to I think like the 1500s a little bit, but my people was a part of like one part of my family was a part of the Great Indian Trails or whatever. Like when they moved all the Indians,
the tears, whatever, the Trail of Tears.
I don't think it was that one. It was like the Trail of Tears was like, yeah, I think it is that one actually.
Yeah, I think it's Trail of Tears.
I think it is that one. I'm thinking about the Great Destiny or something like that.
Maybe when I do mom, I'm come in and be like, hey, part Nigerian, big dog. I don't know. Y'all tell me, Wardu, salute. Nigerians in the building. My sisters say she's Nigerian, so maybe, you know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm Nigerian. I don't know. We'll see.
Wardu, put me in the spaces.
Hell no, I can't understand shit the nigga be saying, but salute to the Nigerians.
You gotta learn your tongue, bro. You gotta learn your native tongue, man.
Yeah, I feel you. But anyways, tomorrow, man. Whatever. What time is it? 12? Today, later tonight, we'll be back. I gotta do some research. I gotta line.
Y'all gotta let me do my research. I don't know about tomorrow.
Just listen. You gotta drive around. Listen to damn. It's Kodak, and you got Yachty. It ain't like I said. They only gotta find a million songs. They probably got like 4 or 5 songs. Like they ain't gonna have a million records. You gotta listen to albums on. Like, you gonna find. Just go to. You have music.
Yeah.
Just go to Kodak Black Essentials. You'll find the fucking hit records right there.
I like doing my research.
He's scared, y'all. I gotta do. I don't know shit about. Let's do it tomorrow. Because if we don't do it tomorrow, we got to wait a whole week. And this 2016 shit gonna be old by then. You know.
All right, man.
Put some pressure on yourself. Don't be scared, man. Yeah, you got some heavy hitters. You got fucking Kodak. You got fucking Yachty. You got fucking Post Malone. You got designer. You already know. You got a research designer. Panda. You know what I mean? G Herbo. Find the shit with him and Nicki. I forgot what the fuck it's called. Chirac freestyle, whatever. Boom, you got that one. You know, you'll be all right. I didn't say that was mine. Me and my sister got different daddies, so maybe that was her black dad came to North Carolina. Maybe I was already here. You know what I'm saying? My people was already here. I said, dude, this is the last thing I said. We're gonna get about there. I saw a guy tweet today. He was like, y'all niggas don't know what y'all are. He said, y'all think y'all Hebrew Israelites, Moors. What did he say? Hebrew Israelites, Moors, Native Americans. He said something else. It was something else. That people
my
saying
thing with that shit is like, shut your dumb ass up, because if you look across the fucking world, there's melanated people all across the world. So yeah, there are black people that came from Africa. There are black people that are Native American, but we are so mixed and mingled. It come to a point we look the same and speak the same tongue. Like,
I forgot who tweeted that. I was laughing. I was like,
if you look at me and Wardy, what's the difference? Like you can tell that his people from Africa and mine not.
Yeah, I can tell you may have had slave master interference at some point. Wardy look like he don't got no slave master interference.
Just by looking at us.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe. I never knew that.
Did you guess like your white, like great grandpa or something like that?
It's like one person.
That's all it take?
Yeah, it's hard though. That's a hard one.
That was like he had no white interference. You know what I'm saying? Like they Nigeria and they Nigerian through and through. He does ancestry. He's gonna be 98% Nigerian. You might be
but
like
there's plenty of Africans that
40% West Indies, maybe a little bit of Europa in you somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a little.
Yeah, and then you gotta think as well though. Like when you do your ancestries, motherfuckers be German, motherfuckers be a lot of shit. Like Nigerians been traveling around the world for a long ass time, so it's a chance that a Nigerian did fucking.
Nah, not Wardo. His shit. He looked pure.
No, I'm saying he could have fucked the what do you call a Seminole or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, it could have been a melanated Native American. Like it don't need. I ain't necessarily saying a white person. Like, bro, people been traveling, people been doing all type of shit, bro. And there's
do your ancestry. They got on sale.
Many different type of black people, bro. My last name is Neely. I got German. I got Irish. Come on, bro. And so you telling me I can't be Irish? I can't have Irish in my blood?
I say you got a little white somewhere in you. I told you.
Irish. See, that's the thing. Irish has a history of being black before ever. Same with Germany. It was.
Oh shit! I don't know.
Even with Greek history, bro, like you can look and see that it was melanated people. Same with Russians. Like they got black angels in their churches and shit, bro. Like over time, like shit has been changed and migrated and colonized, but. Bro, you can have a little bit of everything when you talk about these bloodlines, bro. This shit, bro. We're old as fuck, bro. What are we talking about?
All right, man. We'll be back tonight.
The bloodline.
Bryce scared. Like you see the chat.
Tomorrow.
Scary ass Bryce as usual. Usually, what does it say? Folding under pressure. Don't fold under pressure. That wasn't the last one. I lost the last one. I don't remember. We gotta look into it. But we out. Appreciate y'all for doing all that good shit. We'll be back tonight, possibly.